Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Visit Michigan City LaPorte, closer than you think, better than you imagine. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Baseball Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from Victory Field in Indianapolis as the Region Sports Network presents live coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship as the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles take on the Andrean Fighting 59ers. I'm Leo Staudaher, and I'll have the play-by-play action for tonight's contest as we have a great matchup here in the Circle City. It is the two top teams in the Class 3A rankings, Andrean occupying the top spot and Guerin Catholic occupying the second spot. You get number one versus number two. The winner leaves with a state title. It will be a historic state championship, as any state title is, but a lot riding for both of these teams. The 59ers could set a state record with their 10th championship with a win, and for the Golden Eagles, they would secure the first in program history. So certainly two very different stories going into this, but both equally historic as we get ready to set the stage, as it is moments before first pitch here at Victory Field. The head coaches are meeting with the umpires down behind home plate to discuss the ground rules and exchange lineup cards. So let's get ready to get to know those lineups. And batting lineups are brought to you by Great Lakes Sports Hub, more than a dome. So first, for the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles, they enter with a record of 27-3-1. They are 5-1 against their conference opponents in the Circle City Conference. They are winners of their last 10, having scored 273 runs while allowing just 79. Their lineup from head coach David Schrage in his second season with the program reads like this. Nolan Ratcliffe leads off and plays third base. Ben Canada follows him, batting second while playing second. Ian Taylor patrols center field, bats third. The cleanup hitter is Carson Kale. He will be the backstop defensively. Carson Smith plays short, bats fifth. Grant Beard is the left fielder. He'll bat sixth. Tate Troxel, the starting pitcher, will bat seventh in place of the first baseman, Ryan Gremmelspaker, and Liam Zorger bats eighth, plays right field. Brody Kane is the designated hitter. He rounds out the 1 through 9 for the Golden Eagles. Andrean's lineup, the Fighting 59ers, enter with a record of 30-3. They were 10-2 against their conference foes in the Northwest Crossroads Conference. They are winners of their last 6, all of those in the state tournament. They have scored 277 runs while allowing just 72. Their lineup card, being turned in by head coach Dave Pischker in his 45th season with the program, goes like this. The right fielder, Luke Gobin, leads things off for Andrean. Chase Nelson bats second, plays third. Aiden Gannett plays first, bats in the 3 spot. Caden Maxwell will be on the mound for the Fighting 59ers. He bats cleanup. John Lubash follows, batting 5th, playing catcher. Miller Stahlbaum bats 6th, plays left field. Matthew Kulig plays second base, bats 7th. Jet Dudden is the shortstop. He will be batting 8th. And Paxton Lukacs rounds out the 1 through 9. He will be playing center field defensively. Those are the batting lineups. Now it's time to introduce the starting pitchers for today's game. That means we'll turn to the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. For the home team, the Andrean 59ers will send Caden Maxwell to the mound. The lefty is 6-0 on the year with a 2.0 earned run average. He has started 9 games, going the distance 5 times, most recently in the semi-state opener. He has thrown 42 innings with 27 hits scattered throughout those, allowing just 12 runs, all of which were earned. He has walked only 18 batters while striking out 47. The lefty will be pitching at the next level in the Big Ten Conference for the University of Illinois next season. His opponent from Guerin Catholic will be Tate Troxel. Troxel is 8-0 on the year with a 1.23 ERA. He has started 11 games, going 51 innings pitched with 22 hits against Troxel. He has allowed only 9 runs this season, all of which were earned, walking 26 batters while striking out 88. Troxel will be rolling with the Tide at Alabama at the next level as well. So 2 Division I bound pitchers set the stage. Those are your Enigenberg Exteriors home improvement hurlers for today's game. Enigenberg Exteriors, experienced roofing and siding contractor serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee. Visit them on the web at ebergexteriors.com. And it is a good day for baseball here in Indianapolis. And let's take a look at the Friday night forecast, which is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast, it is 77 degrees and sunny. There are some clouds dotting the blue canvas of the sky in front of us, but it's overall a very sunny day. The field fully lit up by the sun as the conditions not quite too hot, not too humid. It's overall very formidable as they will continue dropping into the lower 70s. Sunset expected to be around 9:15 this evening, while winds of 10 miles per hour are blowing southeast. The flagpoles out in left field, the flags on those are blowing to their right. So a little bit of a breezy day as well. Something pitchers will have to balance the humidity and the wind and try to avoid leaving anything that could be sent for a ride. That's the Friday night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. So a great matchup between 2 very solid programs as we are just moments away from first pitch here. For Andrean, certainly a lot of adversity to get to this point with their school being heavily damaged by the tornadoes last week and their baseball field receiving very significant damage. There's no playbook for trying to prepare for a state championship while losing your field in the process, but they've managed to overcome that, winning both games at semi-state last week against DeKalb and Northwood. And then this week they've been practicing at the Steel Yard in Guerin. So getting that feel of playing in a big stadium, that could be something that gives them some valuable practice reps. Trying to get that feel for playing in a stadium with an upper deck and all the different dimensions that come with. And speaking of different dimensions, these sprinklers just went on down by the Andrean third base dugout. That's certainly something you don't prepare for. Moments before the state championship, the players just got sprayed by that, so we'll wait for those to turn off before starting the game, obviously. I don't think that was meant to happen. It's only on the third base side. Oh, and parts of right field as well. So, baseball is an unpredictable game. That was certainly something unforeseen that took place, but a little bit of a lighter moment as the Andrean players now trying to dry off before being introduced on the field. But certainly for Andrean, a lot riding on this game, trying to set a state record for most state championships while also dealing with so much going on around their campus and uncertainty and trying to win this one for the entire Andrean community, as many of their fans in attendance along the third base and left field lines. As we will continue to get you ready for first pitch between Andrean and Guerin Catholic. First, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, more pregame analysis and then first pitch, so stick around. You are listening to the Class 3A State Baseball Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse Technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Strack & Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strack & Van Til.
As the lineups from each team are being introduced pre-game, we ran through them momentarily, but now getting cheered on by their host fans. Guerin Catholic takes the field wearing their purple caps, purple jerseys with yellow numbers on front and back, white pants with a purple stripe down the side, and the players wearing purple socks to complete the outfit. They are occupying the first base dugout, and now their players are running out along the first base line. They will be the road team today, taking first at-bats, looking to set the tone, while Andrean will be the home team in the third base dugout, batting last. A good advantage to have in a state title game, knowing that if it gets to that situation, you have those final at-bats. Their lineup about to be introduced by the public address announcer. Andrean wearing their traditional red caps, red jerseys with white numbers, white script across the front, white pants with a red stripe down the side, red socks complete the outfit. As both teams are lining up along the baselines now, we will get ready to join the PA announcer for the playing, or the singing, I should say, of the national anthem. There was the national anthem, and now we are just about ready for baseball here in Indianapolis between the 59ers and the Golden Eagles. What a day for a ball game here. What a stage for a state championship. Andrean looking to defend their crown from last season after they picked up their 9th state championship 4-3 over Jasper last year, looking to make it 10 this year, while the Golden Eagles looking for their first state championship in program history. Caden Maxwell begins his warm-ups on the mound here in Indianapolis, and certainly for an Andrean team, they graduated some talent from last year's team, but the expectation every year is to end up at this same venue as they return some contributors, mix in some new faces as well. We're conference champions, but talking about the experience, the benefit of having been here last year with some returning faces, that helps to have played in these big games before, to have know how to get through the sectional and the regional rounds, playing both the days of the semi-state doubleheader and now doing it back-to-back years. The 59ers trying to make sure they can take care of business here again, and just getting through that first inning could be, you hear about that so many times in a state championship or playing in a bigger stadium. Just get through that first inning, get that shock out of your system of playing in a bigger stadium with all the amenities that come with it, the upper level, the bigger seating, the jumbotron out in right field. So we'll see how the 59ers set the tone here and how these at-bats for Guerin Catholic go their first time through the order. The Golden Eagles will send Ratcliffe, Canada, and Taylor, the 1-2-3, up to bat against Maxwell, as the lefty, who had pitched very solid in the semi-state opener last week at Schreiber Field in LaPorte. Maxwell threw a complete game against DeKalb with just one hit against, striking out 7. That was the 2-0 win in Game 1, and then the 59ers really took care of business in Game 2 against Northwood with a 5-1 win to punch their ticket to the state championship. But now they need to try to pick up one more win to wrap up the season for Dave Pishker with his 45th season with Andrean. He's been the man at the helm for all 9 of those state titles, so trying to make it a 10th as the right-handed batting Nolan Ratcliffe steps into the batter's box. The 59ers go through one last huddle just beyond the mound, and we are appears ready to play ball here at Victory Field. The umpires this evening will be James Payne, Timothy Clark, John Fry, and Brad Fisher. Clark will step into the box. Lubash goes to his station behind the plate as the catcher. It'll be a left-handed pitcher against a right-handed batter to open this game. Maxwell holds the glove near the numbers on the jersey, winds, fires, sends a fastball for a strike at 4:36. We are officially underway in the Class 3A State Championship. The count 0-1. Maxwell quick to the plate again. Speeds a fastball to the inner corner for strike 2. He's ahead in the count against the third baseman, Ratliff. Ratliff will be staying in Indianapolis at the college level, committed to play at Marian University. The 0-2 pitch from Maxwell. High and away for ball 1. Maxwell with a slight hesitation in his leg kick there, trying to throw off the timing of his windup. One that was wisely taken by Ratliff. Now we get ready for the 1-2. Sends one outside, evens the count up at 2 apiece. So Maxwell primarily works in the high 80s with his velocity, but has good command over his breaking ball as well. The 2-2 bounces in. We'll go full at 3-2. So after being quickly ahead 0-2, Ratliff with a patient eye has worked the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The breakthrough pitch from Maxwell. Crushed towards left field. This one's curling, foul. And that was clobbered to left field. Lucky it was foul. That traveled deep to the area out in left field. There's a canopy over one of the the fan hangout areas in left field. It landed on top of the green canopy. That had home run distance, just sliced foul. So now the 3-2 is high for a ball. Ratcliffe earns a leadoff walk to start the game. And wow, that was one of the longest foul balls you'll see. And the 59ers will take the walk after what could have been a long home run from Nolan Ratliff. But so now that sets the table for Ben Canada to bat left-handed. Canada, the second baseman, bats with nobody out and a runner at first base. So lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Maxwell throws over to first base. Ratliff scampers back in time. Canada, the junior infielder, looking to make something happen with a friend aboard. The first pitch spins in for strike one. Canada bats .378 this season, 4 home runs, 33 RBIs. He's behind in the count, no balls and a strike as Maxwell looks to first base, fires out of the stretch. The 0-1 is just high for a ball. We go 1-1, but a couple of players that might see each other at the next level. Maxwell, a University of Illinois recruit, and Canada, a Northwestern recruit. So 2 players that will be playing at the Big Ten level in the land of Lincoln in their futures. But right now they're battling in a state championship. A long pause and the 1-1 pitch from Maxwell. Fastball at the corner for strike 2. Had good life on that fastball to the outer corner. Canada didn't offer, so he's behind a ball and 2 strikes. In the semi-state opener, Canada was 2 for 3 with an RBI double and a home run. Hoping the Golden Eagles get the win in that one. Maxwell throws over to first base. Ratliff gets back in time. The count remains 1-2. With the glove at the belt, Maxwell's set, kicks out of the stretch. The 1-2 is roped into right field. It will land in front of Gobin. It's a single, and he keeps the line moving for the Golden Eagles. They have 2 aboard and nobody out for the number 3 hitter, Ian Taylor. A good rip there by Canada, just being able to get a hold of one and drop it into right field a few feet in front of Luke Gobin. So there are now runners at first and second for the center fielder, Ian Taylor, to bat. Taylor, the senior, could really impact this game here. Nobody out. Batting average over 400 for Taylor. He has 9 long balls and 35 runs batted in. Has a chance to add 2 more to that total with a couple of friends on base. Maxwell sends one to the plate. Showing bunt initially was Taylor, but he pulls back. The count opens 1-0. Fastball inside from the lefty Maxwell. So that right-handed batter Taylor, he looks to third base for the sign. Ratcliffe walked to start the game. He's at second base. Canada then singled. He's over at first. The 59ers will bring the corner infielders in, anticipating a bunt. Maxwell goes to the plate. Motors a strike to the upper corner, evens the count at 1-1. Certainly a huge opportunity for Guerin Catholic here in the first inning with their first 2 runners on base. The 1-1 pitch from Maxwell is elevated towards center field. Kulig goes back at second base, continues to backpedal into the outfield grass, and will make the catch. So a good job by Kulig to read that one. Camped out under it to make the catch, but he was still the wind pushing it back several feet. As there were 3 red jerseys near it, it was the second baseman who had it all the way. Kulig called for it and made the catch for out number 1. That's a big first out to get for Maxwell, as neither runner advanced on the play. Now the batter will be Carson Kale, the catcher. Still with runners at first and second, a tricky spot for Maxwell to try to pitch out of. Kale, the junior, working behind the plate defensively and batting cleanup offensively. Watches the first pitch come in low for a ball. Kale bats .432 with 27 RBIs, a team-high 10 doubles. But the Golden Eagles making things uncomfortable for Maxwell and company here. The count is 1-0. With 2 on and only 1 away, Maxwell steps off, looks the runner at second base back to his station. That was Ratcliffe. first two runners reached. Maxwell was able to induce a flyout. Here's the 1-0 pitch. He gets him to swing over it for strike one. A quick fastball from Maxwell got the batter Kale swinging above it. Evens the count at 1 apiece. And we've seen Maxwell pitch out of trouble at times in the state tournament run. Certainly experienced lefty atop the rotation. His 1-1 pitch is high and away, but in that top of the first inning, you're trying to make sure that the Golden Eagles don't put a crooked number on the board before Andrean's even had a chance to get some swings in. The count is 2-1 after that fastball went upstairs. Maxwell kicks, goes to the plate, and he tries to send a breaking ball in through the back door, but it was still outside. The count now, a hitter's count, 3-1. 3 balls and a strike to Kale. The right-handed batter waits as Maxwell takes a long look at his catcher, Lubash. Now looks back to the runner at second, goes to the plate. The 3-1 pitch is inside. It is inside. Ratcliffe will go from second to third. Canada from first to second. Kale reaches on the walk, and now the bases are loaded for the Golden Eagles. A runner at every station for the shortstop, Carson Smith, and now we'll have a mound visit for Andrean as Dave Pishker heads out to talk to Caden Maxwell, and likely just to try to settle down his left-handed pitcher here, as there's still a lot of baseball left to be played here, and you don't want things to unravel early on with the Golden Eagles threatening and trying to just settle things down. Certainly an experienced coach and an experienced pitcher, he, having been in spots like this before, trying to make sure things don't get bumpy in the first inning. As everybody goes back to their stations. But what an opportunity for the shortstop, Carson Smith. The senior could really produce here with a purple jersey at every base. In the top of the first inning for Guerin Catholic, that's just about how you draw it up, is to get to try to get to Maxwell early. He sends his first pitch to Smith, a fastball for strike one. Smith did not offer. This is an Andrean team, winners of their last 6 games. They've played some tough opponents throughout the season, but already in an uncomfortable spot here in the first inning. The 0-1, elevated high, foul, carrying towards the first base side, and it will land in the upper deck in a row of seats for a foul ball. It makes the count 0-2. But this Andrean team, they've been in close games going back to last year, even to this year. Both games in semi-state were very close. Even the regional championship, they had to play from behind there, rallied to defeat New Prairie. Trying to find a way to escape this jam. The 0-2 pitch is high for ball one. Lubash had to reel it in near the left-handed batter's box. Could have been trouble if it got past him. There are runners at every base. Ratcliffe is at third, Canada at second, and Kale at first. The count is 1-2 to Smith. Maxwell looks to the sign from his catcher. 1 out on a flyout. The 1-2 pitch lifted high and foul into the seats, so the count remains 1-2. But certainly for Maxwell, a variety of ways you could try to get out of this jam. Look for a potential ground ball double play. A strikeout would go a long way, but trying to avoid anything that drops in the outfield that could likely score a couple of runners. With the count still 1-2, Maxwell, after a long stare to his catcher Lubash, kicks, goes to the plate. That one's cued towards second base, sliding and getting there is Dutton. Tosses to second for 1 out. That's all they will get. Ratliff races in to score, and the Golden Eagles will get on the board in the top of the first inning. An RBI from Carson Smith, and they lead by a run with still a chance to add to it. And off the end of the bat, it goes towards shortstop. Dutton had to slide near the bag, was able to contain it, tossed over to Kulig, who stepped on second. So they retire Kale. He's the second out of the inning. Smith reaches base. There was no throw over, but it drives in a run. And it's a 1-0 lead for the 59ers, trying to make sure it stays at just that for the Golden Eagles, trying to continue adding to it. Now with Grant Beard batting, the left fielder steps into the box with runners at first and third and 2 away. The RBI number 42 on the season for Smith. He's aboard at first base. A long set from Maxwell, and he'll throw over to first base where Smith swims back in time, gets back safely. A promising start for Guerin Catholic, trying to add to it with a solo tally on the board. The first pitch skips foul down the third base line near the Andrean dugout. Opens the count 0-1 to Grant Beard. Beard, the senior outfielder, trying to keep this rally rolling for his team in the top of the first inning. He's the 6th batter in the lineup. Maxwell deals from the stretch. It goes to the backstop, over the catcher, racing to the plate is Canada. He will score! A turbulent first inning continues as a wild pitch scores a run. It's now a 2-0 lead. Canada scores from third. Going to second is Smith. 2 runs in for the Golden Eagles with 2 away in the first inning. That was a fastball that goes over Lubosh all the way to the backstop. It took a bounce back to him. He tried to dive towards the plate as Maxwell was racing over as well, but Canada beat them. And now this one carries but hooks foul. Another deep foul ball from Beard. Drops that one near that left field area that we saw that long foul ball from Ratliff earlier in the inning, but this one broke foul much earlier. The count is 1-2, so the Andrean offense will have work to do when they take their first at-bats in the bottom half of this inning. The question is, can they get out of it with just 2 runs allowed, as another foul ball is lifted into the sweet level along the third base side. With a runner still in scoring position, the Golden Eagles would like to try to make it a 3 spot here in the first inning, to make things that much more difficult for Andrean. A long set from Maxwell. He kicks and goes to the plate. The 1-2 is outside, evening things up at 2-2. Tate Troxel, who is the starting pitcher for Guerin Catholic, is the batter on deck. You certainly think he has to appreciate what his offense has been able to do in this first inning, and could have a chance to add to it. The 2-2 pitch for Maxwell. Sent towards the gap in right field. This will land and rolls towards the wall. Turning the corner and going to the plate. In to score is Smith. The baseball is still at the track as racing to third base is Beard. He slides in head first. It's a triple. It scores a run. Makes it a 3-0 lead for the Golden Eagles. That one was sent for a ride towards the gap from Beard. It rolls its way to the warning track to the wall. Lukacs and Gobin both went over to try to retrieve it. They had some trouble getting the ball from the base of the wall. And, oh boy, Caden Maxwell is being relieved of his duties from this game. We will have a new pitcher in, so we will step aside as the new pitcher gets ready to warm up and continue to set the stage. You're listening to coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Ian Funk is in to pitch for the 59ers. That means he is an Enigenberg Exteriors home improvement hurler. The sophomore left-hander is 7-0 on the year, a 1.52 ERA. He has started 7 games, but appears in a relief role here in the top of the first inning. He's thrown 46 innings, a team high, with 24 hits against, allowed 13 runs, 10 of which are earned. He has walked only 12 batters while striking out 52. Funk, the sophomore, was the Northwest Crossroads Conference Pitcher of the Year, so he will look to limit the damage and try to get his bats back up with 2 outs in the first inning. Dave Pischker and company quick to make a move to the bullpen. Enigenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote. And so certainly in a state championship, you have to be quick to make a move to the pen if you feel that is necessary, and that's exactly what Andrean did. It was a rough start for Maxwell, so in risk of things getting out of hand, they adjust things and bring Funk into pitch. Maxwell, I believe, will now play first base defensively. We'll see how the lineup rearranges from there. And I believe he'll stay in the batting order. So Maxwell is over at first base. Aiden Gannett was initially there. I think he will become the designated hitter. Then we'll get that all sorted out as the game progresses. But for now, Maxwell playing first base. And the batter is for Guerin Catholic is Luke Gremmelspaker. Gremmelspaker bats, that will be Tate Troxel, the pitcher, batting in place of the first baseman. Troxel lifts one foul to the first base side after an RBI triple from Grant Beard made it a 3-0 lead. Andrean goes to the pen. What's been an outstanding first inning for the Golden Eagles, trying to keep things rolling here. A check swing from Troxel on a pitch that was low and outside. The appeal down to first base determines he did not go all the way, so the count is now 1-1. Troxel, though, has to appreciate what his friends have done for him to start this game. 3 runs on 2 hits in the first inning, still with room for more. As the 1-1 pitch from Funk, it's a slider that slides low for a ball. There's a runner at third base. He's a threat to score. That is Beard. Troxel bats right-handed, is ahead in the count, 2-1. With 2 away, the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. We go even at 2-2. When we get to the bottom of the first inning, it will be Gobin, Nelson, and Gannett to bat for Andrean. And they will have some work to do, no doubt about it. Trailing by 3 early here, but the good news is there is still plenty of game left. The 2-2 pitch is outside. We go full at 3-2. But Andrean, they'll look to try to get the bats active early after, it was a strong start for Guerin Catholic. A walk to Ratcliffe, a single from Canada, a walk to Kale, a fielder's choice that scored a run, a wild pitch scored a run, and then an RBI triple as the breaking ball from Funk falls low for ball 4. Troxel reaches on a 6-pitch at-bat. He walks to put runners at first and third, and there will be a courtesy runner to take his place as he is the pitcher for Guerin Catholic. So that will be Jack Stoner over at first base running in place of Troxel. And the batter now, Liam Zorger. So Zorger bats .254 this season, plays right field defensively. The junior waits for the pitch from the lefty. It skips into the right-handed batter's box, caroms away from Lubash, but he quickly tracks it down to prevent any runners advancing. The runner at third base is Beard. Stoner running in place of Troxel is at first. 3 runs are in the bank this inning already for the Golden Eagles. They have a chance for 2 more. With the count 1-0, Funk kicks and goes to the plate. The fastball is low, makes it a 2-0 count. But Zerger, the 8th batter to step up to the box this inning for the Golden Eagles. Really making this Andrean pitching staff work. Now time called by the batter just as Funk was getting ready to begin his motion to the plate. So we'll reset things, but the count 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. And the 59ers will take that next out however they can get it. The pitch is outside. Throwing down to third base is Lubash, but diving back in time is Beard. And we see Lewis Gage heading down to the left field bullpen to start getting ready for Andrean. A chance we might see another move later in this game. Hopefully not in this inning. The 3-0 is in for a strike. An off-speed pitch from Funk falls into the zone, makes it a 3-1 count, but still very much favoring the hitter here. Zerger. A lefty-on-lefty battle with runners at first and third. Second base is open. Funk steps off, throws over to Maxwell, but diving back in time is Stoner. Guerin Catholic, though, with a very productive first at-bats. 3 runs in to score. The 3-1 pitch from Funk. Just misses, was looking for the outer corner, but it's outside. It's ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. 3 on, 2 outs. And the batter, Brody Kane, the designated hitter. Kane will bat with a teammate at every base. He quickly goes down the third baseline to talk to his coach, David Schrag. What a moment here for Kane with the bases loaded in a state championship. His team ahead by a crooked number already has a chance to further distance themselves before Andrean has even had a chance to bat. You couldn't have really drawn up a better start if you were the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles. For Andrean, you have to try to shake things off and try to crank up a comeback here as trailing by 3 in the first inning. Your starting pitcher has already left the game. Funk goes to the plate, speeds in a fastball for a strike. And certainly Andrean, having been in big games before, they were winners of last year's state championship, have to try to find a way to rally and see if they can rewrite things after a tough start. The 0-1. He gets it there for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Kane. He bats .224 this season. Has driven in 9 runs. Top of the order on deck. 9th batter for the Golden Eagles to step up and take some swings. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 puts an end to what was a very good start for Guerin Catholic, scoring 3 runs on 2 hits. But they leave the bases loaded. We will head to the bottom of the first inning to see how Andrean fares in their first at-bats. Stick around. You're listening to the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
While you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it. The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
Getting ready for the bottom of the first inning at Victory Field. From the printer tray to the field, Pulse Technology keeps us moving. For more information about the heartbeat of the Region Sports Network, visit Pulse Technology on the web at pulsetechnology.com. So a 24-minute top of the first inning saw Guerin Catholic rally for 3 runs on 2 hits. They chased Caden Maxwell out of the game as a pitcher, bringing Ian Funk in to record the final out. Now the Andrean bats will have to get busy early as they are chasing 3 runs. It'll be Gobin, Nelson, and Gannett, the 1-2-3 to bat here. And for Andrean, winners of their last 6 games, looking to try to find a way to battle some early adversity after Guerin Catholic with a productive first inning, a couple of walks that really would end up hurting things, and then some timely hitting. An RBI triple from Beard really boosted them. For Caden Maxwell, he leaves with 2/3 of an inning pitched, 2 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned. He walked 2 batters and no strikeouts. Tate Troxel is the right-hander on the mound for Guerin Catholic. His offense certainly helped him out by producing those 3 runs. He will try to pitch with the lead here, and for Andrean, they'll look to try to solve him early to try to chase back. It's the left-handed batting Luke Gobin, an IU Southeast recruit, who takes the first pitch for a ball from Troxel. But the right-hander certainly appreciates what his offense has done to him. Speeds one low that bounces in inside to make it a 2-0 count. And for Gobin and company, you don't want to get too aggressive and try to be the hero with one swing of the bat early in this game. The 2-0 pitch from Troxel as he speeds another fastball outside. Troxel, who had maybe a little bit of a longer top of the first inning than anticipated, hasn't quite found the strike zone. So what I'm saying here is you don't want to chase anything and help him out. The 3-0 outside. It's a 4-pitch walk, but when you're trailing by 3, sometimes you get those visions of being the hero and trying to tie the game with one swing of the bat. But you can't do that if you don't have runners on base, and it takes just consecutive good at-bats, and that's what we saw from Gobin there, a 4-pitch walk to reach, and we'll see how the other batters in the lineup follow him up. Now it's Chase Nelson. Nelson bats left-handed, plays third base today, as Troxel throws over to first base. Diving back in time was Gobin. A leadoff walk to Gobin gives the 59ers their first base runner. Troxel goes out of the stretch. The fastball is high and away for ball 1. But certainly for Troxel, you have so much time to get warmed up and having to bat, and I wonder now if he has to work through some stuff to get his command. The 1-0 is inside. No, they will call it strike 1. I think we might have seen a swing there, at least a half swing from Nelson, deemed far enough to be a strike 1. So the count is 1-1. And a pitch that was low and in, but Nelson started bringing the bat forward. Now Troxel twists and throws over to first base. Diving back safely was Gobin. But Guerin Catholic, looking for their first state championship, certainly had the steps early to try to put themselves in favor here. The 1-1 sent high in the air towards right field. Zorger calls for it, races in. No, it lands behind him. It drops. Everybody's safe. What looked like it was going to be out number 1 ends up landing behind the right fielder. So a fortunate miscue for the 59ers. Puts 2 runners on. That was a high fly ball on a sunny day. Zorger was camping out with his left hand, which has the glove on it, in the air, was using his right hand to shield his eyes from the sun, and then the baseball landed behind him. It is scored as a single Nelson is aboard, and just like that, the 59ers have runners on first and second. So on what initially looked like a routine fly ball now results in a base runner for Andrean. They have 2 on for the right-handed hitting Aiden Gannett. Gannett, started the day as the first baseman, now is the left fielder, I believe. Troxel throws a breaking ball to the plate. It's outside. What a start to the bottom of the first inning for Andrean as they're chasing 3 runs. They now have the tying run at the plate, trying to cut into this deficit early. The 1-0 count to Gannett. Troxel fakes the kick, now goes and looks the runner back to second base. That's Gobin over there at second. Nelson is at first. Gannett the batter. But a big start for Andrean to their offensive side of the day. The 1-0 is a fastball to the plate. Gannett was trying to drive that one across the street, but he could not connect. A big swing on a heater to the plate. It was maybe the pitch Gannett wanted, but he could not catch up to it. The right-hander Troxel really with some good velocity there. Evens the count at 1-1. Out of the stretch, the 1-1 pitch is fought away foul. Foul. Gannett just gets that one above the hands and muscles it above the upper deck. Foul to make it a 1-2 count. Gobin steps out to a lead at second base. Nelson as well at first. Guerin Catholic with the infield back. The 1-2 pitch skips its way in. Karam's away from the catcher, but he races to track it down. Kale prevents the runners from moving over to either base. But the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gannett really making Troxel work in this at-bat. The right-hander looks at the base runner at second, now goes to the plate. The 2-2 pitch, he swings over it for strike 3. Good movement on that pitch. It was dropping from Gannett. He could not go down with it, so he swings over for strike 3. A big first out for Troxel to get. Now the batter will be Caden Maxwell. Maxwell was the initial starting pitcher for Andrean, then switched over to play first base after the Golden Eagles were able to score 3 runs against him. Now Maxwell will see if he can make up for that with his bat, and that's the benefit of a player like Maxwell that pitches and hits. I'll wait for this first pitch from Troxel. Maxwell lofts it high in the air to center field. Taylor moves in to make the catch. That's the second out. But to wrap up that thought on Maxwell, it wasn't the day you wanted on the mound, but you still have a chance to make your mark in this game with the bat. He will have to wait till his second at-bat to do that after he flew out on that one, but we'll see what the senior can do as this game progresses. He'll certainly be worth monitoring as he's one of the top batters as well for Andrean. But the batter now is John Lubash. Lubash, the catcher, trying to make sure that the 59ers don't waste this opportunity with 2 runners on base. 2 on and 2 outs for Lubash. He has 20 hits on the season, bats .351. As Troxel looks to the runner at second base. Now goes to the plate. Lubash with a big swing, but can't climb the ladder with the fastball. He's behind 0-1. But Troxel, an Alabama recruit, certainly seems to have some good velocity on that fastball. It's been tough for the 59er batters to catch up to. The 0-1 is outside, but kept in front of him by Kale, the catcher. Evens the count at 1-1. Guerin Catholic leads 3-0. We are in the bottom of the first inning. Andrean is within striking distance with 2 runners on, runners at first and second. But with only 1 out to work with, they're 2 down in the inning. A strikeout to Gannett and a flyout by Maxwell. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A fastball inside makes it a 2-1 count. 2-1 to John Lubash. Lubash trying to make sure that this rally doesn't go to waste in the first inning. As time is called, everybody will take a quick breather. But a big spot for Lubash, the sophomore catcher. He waits for the 2-1 pitch. The fastball finds the corner for a called strike 2. A good spot from Troxel. Even if he was able to get a piece of that, that would have been tricky to do something with. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lubash now will have to get defensive down to the last strike of the inning. As Troxel steps off, looks the runner back to second base. Quickly retreating back is Gobin. But Troxel looking to work his way out of trouble with this next pitch. It is low. The count will go full. 3-2 now the count. The count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. But what an opportunity for John Lubash and the 59ers. The payoff pitch. Lubash swings through it for strike 3. Troxel walks the tightrope, gets out of the jam. The 59ers leave 2 runs stranded as we are now officially through the first inning. 2 strikeouts for Troxel. Guerin Catholic heads to the second inning with a 3-0 lead. You're listening to the Class 3A State Baseball Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work, you're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Ordering groceries has never been easier with online shopping at Strack & Van Til. Save time and money, in-store sale prices, pickup or delivery, online coupons, rewards points, and more. Shop strackandvantil.com. As Ian Funk stays in the game for Andrean as we start the second inning. And it was certainly nothing routine about the first inning. Guerin Catholic scores 3 runs, sends the starting pitcher out of the game in the top of the first inning. Then Andrean gets 2 runners on base in their first 2 batters on a walk and then a what looked like what was going to be a fly out in right field, then ended up not being caught. Then Troxel with some good pitching to work his way out of a spot with 2 runners on base sent the 59ers scoreless. And we are now just starting the second inning. It's Guerin Catholic with a 3-0 lead. Taking a look at the defensive alignment, it has changed a bit for Andrean. Gannat moves. He was the first baseman originally. Now he is in left field. So you have Gannat in left, Lukacs and Gobin, the other 2 outfielders. Or no, Stahlbaum now in right field, actually. So Stahlbaum goes from left to right. Then Nelson is at third base, Dudden at short, Kulig at second, and Maxwell at first. Lubash remains behind the plate, and Funk at the mound. He goes with the 0-1 pitch. It's a bouncer through the middle of the infield. It will roll to center field. The leadoff man, Nolan Ratliff, is on base for the second time today. Ratliff with a leadoff single here in the second inning. He walked and scored in his first at-bat. Now he singles through the middle to start the second inning with a base runner. Here is the second baseman, Ben Canada. Canada singled and would score on a wild pitch in the first inning. So Guerin Catholic picking up where they left off. The offense certainly looking good early here. The first pitch from Funk spins low for a ball to Canada. But for the Golden Eagles, you put a crooked number on the board in your first at-bats, and they're trying to continue adding to that in their second against a high-scoring team like Andrean. Even a 3-run lead might not feel safe, so they're doing what they have to do here, and this is a Golden Eagle team that could score in bunches as well. The 1-0 pitch. And that off-speed breaking ball curls just into the zone for strike one. Give it a delayed strike call from the home plate umpire, but it was a strike from Funk. Evens the count at 1-1. Canada, the junior, a Northwestern recruit, part of several Division I recruits in this Guerin Catholic lineup, and certainly Andrean has their fair share of college recruits as well. So a lot of high-profile players battling here for a state championship. The winner takes the state crown, and the loser, the state runner-up, and plenty of motivation for next year. The 1-1 pitch, low and away. We go 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to Canada. Had that single for the first hit of the game in his prior at-bat. Now he works with nobody out and a runner on base. Canada takes us for a ride towards right field. Going back is Stahlbaum. It passes him, lands at the warning track. Ratliff races from first to third. Canada is aboard at second with a double. An extra base hit. And the Golden Eagles are swinging well this evening. They have 2 in scoring position with nobody out in the second inning. That was a quick traveling fly ball by Canada. Stahlbaum had to race. It would have been a tough catch for him to try to make on the run. He had to try to reach over the shoulder, couldn't get to it. It lands at the warning track and then rolls to the base of the wall in right field. So now runners at second and third with nobody out. Ian Taylor is now the batter. Taylor watches the first pitch come in for a ball. So 1-0 the count. And now Lubash and Funk will talk at the mound. Or will they? Now I think the meeting was interrupted by the umpires at the base paths, so they go back to their spots at catcher and pitcher now. 1-0 the count to Taylor. He flew out in his first at-bat. That was against Maxwell. He'll look for a different result here. The 1-0 pitch is inside. It's inside and escapes Lubash. That will allow Ratliff to stroll in and score. The Golden Eagles add another, making it a 4-1 lead. The wild pitch scores a run. It is now a 4-0 lead. And we're seeing words between Dave Pishcure and the home plate umpire. I think he's going to make another call to the pen. He will bring in, it'll be Lewis Gage into pitch. So another new pitcher in for Andrean following the wild pitch. So we will step aside, allow Gage to warm up as you are listening to coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
There is a new pitcher on the mound. That means he's an Enigenberg Exteriors home improvement hurler. Experienced roofing and siding contractor serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee. Visit them on the web at ebergexteriors.com. Lewis Gage, the senior left-hander, is in to pitch for Andrean. Gage is 7-1 on the year with a 1.83 earned run average. He has thrown 38 and a third innings this season with 21 hits against. He has allowed 15 runs, 10 of which were earned. He has walked 31 batters and struck out 35. Gage, the third pitcher in for Andrean. We'll see if he can be the one that can quiet this Guerin Catholic lineup that has rallied for 4 runs on 4 hits. We are in the top of the second inning with nobody out and a runner at third base. The 59ers bring the infield in, and the first pitch to Taylor is sent sky high to right field, back to the warning track. The catch will be made by Stahlbaum, but tagging and strolling in to score is Canada. It is now a 5-0 lead for Guerin Catholic on a long sacrifice fly by Taylor. That was sent deep to the track. Stahlbaum made the catch, but it was enough for a sacrifice fly for Taylor. And it's just been a good day at the plate for Guerin Catholic as the 59ers are getting ready to defend the plate, bringing the infield in, but swinging away. No bunt there from Taylor. A long fly out to sacrifice and get the run in, as now Carson Kale bats with the bases empty, 1 away. Now for Lewis Gage in out of the bullpen. Kind of a chance to try to reset things. The base is clear. There's 1 away. You want to just get outs and try to get your bats back up to try to cook a comeback here as he gets the batter swinging at the next pitch to even the count at 1-1. But Gage, a senior left-hander, pitched very well in the semi-state championship against Northwood a week ago Saturday. To earn the win, Gage went 6 innings with 2 hits against, walked 2 batters, struck out 7, allowed 1 run. It's on him now to try to battle and keep these Golden Eagle at-bats from rallying for any more offense, as the 2-1 pitch is poked foul back to the backstop. The count now 2-2. That long fly out by Taylor was the first out of the inning. Ratcliffe started the inning with a single, and then Canada doubled to further make things difficult for the 59ers, and then a fly out by Taylor as a backdoor breaking ball by Gage is called strike 3. That's the second out of the inning. Now with 2 away and nobody on, the batter is the shortstop, Carson Smith. Smith bats here for the Golden Eagles, and he will try to find a way to get on base against Gage. And for this Golden Eagle offense, this is the 3rd different pitcher they've seen, and we're only in the 2nd inning, so trying to continue to make it a tough day at the office for Andrean pitchers. And the other end of that is for Andrean, it's the state championship. There are no more games today. Everybody is available to pitch. You've had a week since your last game. If things get difficult, they've shown they are quick to bring in a new arm that could try to steady the course, as the count is 0-2 to Smith. 2 quick strikes from Gage. We'll see if he can get another here. He gets set and will fire to the plate. The 0-2 is inside, and it catches a piece of the batter, Smith. Smith was hit by the pitch. He will head over to first base. So he is a 2-out base runner now. After a flyout and a strikeout, Smith was then hit by a pitch. He is aboard. Smith reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Now he will be on base a second time. Gage gets set, throws to first base. Now from the stretch, Gage to the plate. It's cracked foul down the third base line by Beard. It rolls down into the left field bullpen. And somebody from the Andrean dugout will have to go retrieve it, as then it ricochets onto the field out near the corner and left. But the Golden Eagles, it just seems like one after another, everybody has had some strong at-bats, and they have made things tough for Andrean here already in the 2nd inning, and they lead by 5. Gage sends the 0-1 pitch to the plate as the runner is going for second. Smith will slide in safely. It was a swinging strike by Beard. Now it's a 0-2 count. No balls and 2 strikes to the batter Beard. He had an RBI triple in his first at-bat. He'll call time and step out of the batter's box. Now Gage looks to Lubash for the 0-2. He kicks, goes to the plate, sends it high and outside. The count 1-2. But for Guerin Catholic, you have to be impressed with how the approach hasn't changed. Now the third different pitcher they've seen, they have had a very keen eye. They've taken strong swings, and they've just made things difficult for whoever it's been on the mound. Maxwell, Funk, and now Gage. The 1-2. Check swing, but not far enough. It's a ball. The count goes 2-2. Gage, Andrean, lucky to have 3 very strong starters. And Gage, one of those 3 guys that could all be top of the rotation guys at other teams, but have been part of a very good pitching staff. As Beard sends one high to left field, carrying towards the wall where the catch will be made on the track by Gannett and puts an end to the inning. The Golden Eagles score 2 runs on 2 hits as we will head to the bottom of the second inning. They leave 5-0. The 59ers will bat next. You're listening to coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. It's 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
down, sit, hut.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
To keep up with all things Region Sports, be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We are always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and at our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we are proud to still be the only game in town. Bottom of the second inning, and Andrean will send Stahlbaum, Kulig, and Dudden due up to bat here. They will try to cut into this 5-0 deficit. We saw the 59ers were able to get 2 runners on in their first at-bats, but left them stranded. They will still look for a way to solve Tate Troxel, who has been very good on the mound for the Golden Eagles. It's the left-handed batting Stahlbaum playing left field now as the first pitch from Troxel was a fastball in for strike one, just above the knees on the lefty Stahlbaum. He bats .258 this year. Troxel winds and fires. Another pitch. This time it's low. Look to be the fastball again. Evens the count at 1-1. Stahlbaum had some big swings in the regional championship against New Prairie. Now it's the off-speed pitch, and that fools him. And it's a swinging strike. He goes to 1-2 in the count. And that was a game where Andrean was trailing against New Prairie. We're able to rally with a 6-run 6th inning as the 1-2 is low and outside. Takes a bounce over the catcher, but with no runners on base, it won't be anything that hurts him. And just evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count to the leadoff batter Stahlbaum, batting out of the 6th spot in the lineup. The breakthrough pitch is a fastball at the corner for strike 3. Stahlbaum is caught looking. So a good way to start the inning for Troxel. With a good fastball at the corner, makes it his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. Now the batter is Matthew Kulig. Kulig, the righty, has 4 RBIs on the year. The first pitch, a fastball from Troxel, speeds in for strike 1 at the inner third of the plate. It's been a heavy dose of fastballs for Troxel, and he's had good life on that fastball. He sends a bender that is also a strike. That one just spins over the heart of the plate. No swing from Kulig. He is now behind 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Kulig waves over the 0-2 breaking ball. It's in the dirt, but the catcher throws over to first base. Back-to-back strikeouts. And just like that, there are 2 away here in the second inning. Stahlbaum was caught looking, and then Kulig swings on a good breaking ball. But they both are retired on strikes. The batter now is the shortstop, Chet Dudden. Dudden committed to play at Northwestern Ohio, another one of those seniors. And what's a mix between seniors, juniors, and sophomores in this Andrean starting 9. Dudden, one of the upperclassmen, attacks the first pitch but can't connect. He's behind 0-1. Dudden, that's .338 this season. And sees the count even now at 1-1 after that pitch was in the dirt. But Troxel has been in control so far. After the first 2 batters reached, he has then really gone to work and has been just attacking the strike zone. A quick windup and the 1-1 pitch. Foul ball just above the hands. Dudden sends it to the screen. He's now behind 1-2. But trying to get that timing right against Troxel is he's probably one of the hardest throwing pitchers they've seen all year. Just trying to find a way to catch up to that fastball. Now the 1-2 pitch. It's low and outside. A good take from Dudden. Dudden has worked the count even at 2-2. Infielders playing back as they have the bases empty but are trying to still be active and ready for anything put in play. With the count now even at 2-2, Troxel lines up and will fire to the plate. It's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Troxel strikes out the side. We're through 2. It's Guerin Catholic with a 5-0 lead as you're listening to coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step toward your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
About to begin inning number 3 as we are at the conclusion of tonight's game. We'll name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crowell Company is proud to recognize the superheroes on the diamond here at Victory Field, home of the Indianapolis Indians. It is the Golden Eagles of Guerin Catholic leading 5-0 as they will send their 7, 8, and 9 hitters up to bat. Troxel, Zorger, and Kane due up to bat here, looking to see if they can add to that 5-run advantage they have early. Troxel has been tough to deal with on the mound. Now he will pick up the bat and do some swinging. He walked in his first trip to the plate. Gage sends a good pitch for a strike to open the count. Troxel swung above it. Gage, the left-hander, is committed to play at the Milwaukee School of Engineering next season at the Division III level. They have a very strong program there. The 0-1, he powers it in for a strike. They go ahead. Now he goes ahead 0-2. But Troxel trying to stay alive against Gage, who's now the third pitcher used by Andrean here as we begin inning number 3. His 0-2 pitch. Sliced foul towards the first base side and landing on top of the upper deck on the overhang above it. And it's a long foul ball, but the count stays where it was, 0-2. Troxel just a little bit behind that pitch from Gage. He kicks, goes to the plate again, 0-2. It's a fastball inside, makes it a 1-2 look. But the senior Gage trying to steady things for Andrean after it was a bit of a rough start for Maxwell, and then Funk was relieved after he faced a handful of batters early in the second inning, and now it's up to Gage to try to right the ship. 6 batters faced by both Maxwell and Funk. Now Gage has the count even at 2-2, but we'll see what he can do here. The 2-2 sails high into the backstop, but with nobody on, it's no trouble. It just makes it a 3-2 count, but certainly the Golden Eagle student section letting Gage hear about that one after he threw it over the catcher and all the way to the wall. That's a full count, 3-2. Now the payoff pitch. It is low. It is ball 4. The leadoff batter, Troxel, will reach. Now, the leadoff batter has reached base all 3 innings. That's been a good way to start things for Guerin Catholic, as Stoner will take Troxel's place on the bases. Jack Stoner, the junior infielder, will be the courtesy runner for the pitcher. But Troxel is on base for the second time in this game. 2 walks for him. And here is Liam Zorger, the right fielder. He walked in his first at-bat of the game. Top of inning number 3 on what is a very good day for baseball. A sunny day that is warm but not too hot. A first pitch from Gage showing bunt was Zorger. It was below his bat for strike 1, and now a throw down to first base. But a good day to hang out at the ballpark and take in a state championship. What a fitting way to end the season with a nice day like today. Both of these teams played their first games back in March, and when things were much different outside. And you've played in rain, you've played in cloudy days, cold days, warm days, everything in between. And it's fitting to get 78 degrees and sunny for your last game of the year. A throw down to first base. Stoner was safe. Now Gage will look to the plate. He kicks and throws. It's a fastball high and in to make it a 1-1 count. An Andrean team, they played a difficult non-conference as well as conference regular season schedule to prepare themselves for big games like this in the state championship. We'll see if they have a rally on hand here, trailing by 5 as we are in the third inning. The 1-1 is upstairs for ball. We go 2-1. Their last loss was their final 2 games of the regular season were both losses, and now they've been hot at the right time with a 6-game win streak in the state tournament. The 2-1 pitch from Gage. It's a curveball that curves too low, makes it a 3-1 count. A walk to Troxel's start of the inning. Gage really can't afford a walk here. You don't want to put the first 2 men on base, so he'll try to lock in and get a strike with the count 3-1. Instead, he'll throw over to first base. Diving back in time is Stoner. 3 runs in the first inning, 2 in the second for Guerin Catholic. The 3-1 pitch from Gage, tipped foul, goes back to the screen beyond home plate. The count will go full at 3-2. The 3-2 count full to Zorger. He walked in his first meeting. That was against Funk in the first inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Ground ball through the middle of the infield. It rolls to center. It's a single. And now there are 2 runners on base for the Golden Eagles with the 9th batter, Brody Kane, up to bat. Stoner is at second base, Zorger at first, and the batter now, Kane. That was just a good single by Zorger, nothing fancy there, was just able to knock it down, and it quickly rolled through the middle of the infield into center. Between Dudden and Kulig, they didn't really have a chance, the two middle infielders, to try to cut that one off. That was traveling to center in a hurry. Now Zorger is on base for the second time in the outing, and Brody Kane will bat with 2 on and nobody out. We've seen just consecutive quality at bats for these Golden Eagle hitters. 1 through 9 really just being able to make things difficult for these Andrean pitchers. They've taken them deep in counts, and they've been able to put good swings on the ball when it matters. The first pitch, a bunt attempt by Kane, but he jabs it away foul. His bat was over it, so he had to try to knock it down, but it goes, skips at the left-hand batter's box and redirects away. So the count is 0-1. 0-1 the count. The middle infielders are in. The first baseman, Maxwell, very much trying to race towards the plate. And now throw it on a second base. Sliding to get to it is Dudden. That was a little bit away from the bag. Could have been trouble, but Dudden was able to contain it. The count is 1-1, but very much expecting a bunt from Brody Kane. Andrean deploying the corner infielders. Well, the first baseman, third base, that's Nelson. He's waiting at third to cover the bag with the force active there. So it'll be Maxwell's job if there's a bunt. The 1-1 pitch, a bunt, but it's foul. It's foul. It squeaks between the legs of the catcher and rolls to the backstop. The count goes 1-2. Now we'll likely see Kane getting ready to swing away. Still nobody out in this third inning. Guerin Catholic with the top of the order waiting on deck. Could put Nolan Ratcliffe up to bat in a very advantageous spot. 2 runners on. Nobody out for Kane. The 1-2 is inside. Inside evens the count at 2-2. So Gage trying to find the zone here, trying to work it out. Already with a pair of runners on base. Looks to the runner at second. Kicks, goes to the plate. The 2-2 pitch sliced foul above the Andrean bullpen along the first baseline. So the count will stay where it was at 2-2. Guerin Catholic, crooked numbers on the board in their first 2 trips to the plate, have a chance to do so again now in the third inning. Gage gets set with the count full. The payoff pitch is high for a ball. That was ball 3, actually. So the count now full at 3-2. But another lengthy at-bat. These Golden Eagle batters certainly with a good eye, and the pitch from Gage is outside for ball 4. That will load the bases. Troxel moves from second to third. Zorger from first to second. Kane is on base for the first time in the game with a walk. Now the top of the order, Nolan Ratcliffe up to bat with the bases loaded and nobody out. Ratcliffe, who is 2 for 2 today with 2 runs scored, could really step up for his team here. He has 18 RBIs on the season and is now presented with an opportunity to increase that number. Trajan moving the corner infielders in, middle infielders playing towards the bag. The first pitch from Gage spins inside for a ball. Ratcliffe. Now we'll see a mound visit for the 59ers. This will be the pitching coach heading out there to talk to Gage. And Gage has hit the end of the line. Gage will be brought out. It will be Chase Nelson in. And we'll have some more adjustments. So we'll step aside while Nelson is given the opportunity to warm up. So stick around. You're listening to coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Looking to score great deals on sports and fitness gear? Shop local at Play It Again Sports Maryville. We have new and quality used equipment for baseball, softball, golf, hockey, fitness, and more. Plus, turn your old gear into cash on the spot or create your own discount with store credit for even better deals. Whether you're training, competing, or just getting started, your locally owned Play It Again Sports keeps you in the game.
It's time to introduce the new pitcher on the mound. That means we'll turn to the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today's game, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. It will be Chase Nelson in to pitch for Andrean. Nelson is 1-0 on the year with a 1.8 earned run average. He has thrown 11 2/3 innings this season with 6 hits against. He has allowed 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. He's walked 7 batters and struck out 18. We've seen him brought in. They haven't quite been save situations, but they've felt like it in a couple of these playoff games. He's been tasked with getting the final 3 outs to close games, although it was a 4-1 game last time, but it felt like a save spot to punch their ticket to state. It will be Nelson, the 4th pitcher in for Andrean here in the 3rd inning. Enigenberg Exteriors, a premier provider of roofing and siding services with over 40 years of experience. Check them out on the web at ebergexteriors.com. So Nelson takes over for Gage. And the first pitch hits the batter, Ratcliffe. It will be an RBI hit by pitch for Ratcliffe. It brings in a run. It is now a 6-0 lead for Guerin Catholic. The bases remain loaded, and there are no outs in the inning. So Stoner scores. Going to third base is Zorger. Kane moves to second, and Ratcliffe is at first. Now here's Ben Canada. He takes the first pitch high and foul. So Nelson moves from third base into pitch. Gage will be charged with that run. You can't close the book on him. He went 2/3 of an inning with 1 hit against. He walked 2 batters and struck out 1. The 0-1 pitch is high for ball 1. Nelson really will have to do some work now as the 59ers burning through their pitching staff. Their 3 main starters have all... 3 of their main starters have been used in Funk, Maxwell, and Gage. You still have Paxton Lukács, who has thrown a lot of innings. He's available. But now Nelson, who's one of their top bullpen arms, has the count 2-1 to Canada with the bases full. Canada lifts it high in the air, but it's going to be in the infield. Dutton camps out and makes the catch. That's the first out. That's a big out to get for the 59ers. A sky-high infield fly for out number 1 to the shortstop, Dutton. Now Ian Taylor, the center fielder, steps up with the bases full. Taylor is 0 for 1. He flew out in the first inning and then had a sacrifice fly in the second and drove in a run. But Taylor works with a friend at every base. Taylor, a recruit of George Mason University. Waits for the pitch from the right-hander, Nelson. He attacks the first pitch. It's high towards right field, and the right fielder, that is Stahlbaum, will make the catch. Kulig, the second baseman, went on a long journey to try to get to it, lost his hat, but then couldn't find it, so he called for help, and it was Stahlbaum, the right fielder, who had it tracked and was able to then make the catch. So avoiding any trouble via good communication by the defense, the 59ers record an important second out, but still not an easy spot for Nelson with the bases loaded. And the batter, Carson Kale. Kale walked in the first inning, then struck out in the second, takes a first pitch ball from Nelson. 1-0 the count to Kale. Nelson takes a long look to Lubash, the catcher. There's a runner in a purple jersey at every base. Only one run has scored this inning, but there's the threat of more for Guerin Catholic. The 1-0 on the kick from Nelson. It's low and away. Makes it a 2-0 count. Nelson hit the first batter he saw. That was Ratcliffe, but then quickly induced 2 flyouts. Could really use a third out here. His team trailing by 6. The 2-0 lifted towards center field, and a sliding catch is made by Lukács for out number 3. Lukács raced in, brought a headfirst slide, made the catch, and then held onto the baseball through impact. That closes out the top half of the third inning. The Golden Eagles score 1, but leave the bases loaded. We will head to the bottom half of the inning as you're listening to coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Strack and Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strack and Van Til.
Bottom 3 at Victory Field as Guerin Catholic leads 6-0 over Andrean. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Paxton Lukács, the 9th hitter in the lineup for Andrean, takes his first at-bat to lead off the inning as the 59ers trying to make some noise here. Trailing by 6, the 59er fans cheering on Paxton as he attacks the first pitch from Troxel, but swings through it for strike 1. Andrean needs base runners by whatever way they can get them at this point in the game, trailing big as the next pitch called strike 2. It's quickly an 0-2 count to Lukács. He bats .289 this season, waits for the 0-2. He chops it towards third base. It ricochets off Ratcliffe's glove and rolls into the outfield. Lukács is aboard to start the inning. A big swing on the fastball and was able to drive it towards third. That was going to be a tricky play for Ratcliffe to try to get to. It is scored as a single. He got the glove on it, but the way he was diving to his left, even if he fielded it cleanly, I don't know if that throw would beat Lukács just because of how sharp it was hit to third base. So the leadoff runner is on. Lukács reaches, and here's Luke Gobin. Gobin, now the DH, started the day in right field, but due to the shuffling of things after Maxwell was taken off the mound, he is now a designated hitter. Watches a first pitch strike fly in from Troxel. Gobin walked to start the game offensively for Andrean. This is now his second meeting with Troxel here in the bottom of the third inning. The count is 0-1. Guerin Catholic with a commanding 6-0 lead and a very tough right-hander throwing on the mound. You have to think he's just getting more and more comfortable with each run his offense scores. But for the 59ers, they're trying to find a way to solve him and bring runs into score. Waiting for the 0-1 pitch from Troxel. Check swing from Gobin. It's called strike 2. But Troxel, a Division I recruit, has really been powering these fastballs to the zone. Outside of that first walk to Gobin, his command has been on point. And then the next pitch is outside on the fastball. The count goes 1-2. 1-2 to Gobin. The 59ers have had 3 runners on base. They had 2 on in the first inning, but left them stranded. Now you have Lukács aboard with a single. The 1-2. off the end of the bat. Gobin lifts it foul towards the sweet level for a foul ball. So the count stays 1-2. Gobin, one of the senior leaders of this Andrean team in all-conference selection. Trying to see if he could produce in the state championship. The 1-2 pitch is high for ball 2. Evens the count at 2 apiece. Guerin Catholic team that has won their last 10, and Andrean winners of their last 6. So 2 teams that have been playing some very good baseball, number 1 and number 2 in the rankings in 3A. You don't often get that, the 2 top teams on paper meeting in the state championship, but that's what we have tonight. The count goes full after the fastball was high. So 3-2 the count to Gobin. Troxel waiting for the sign as with a runner on, nobody out, the count is full to Gobin. He's trying to make it 2 on base. Waits for the payoff pitch, and it is knocked foul. Foul ball from Gobin. Keeps the count full, but he's really making Troxel have to work here. That's what you want to see. When you're down by 6, to still see competitive at-bats, the process, taking lots of pitches, competitive at-bats here. And it's still only the 3rd inning. There's a lot of baseball left, but you haven't seen the 59ers take selfish at-bats, meaning just swinging at the first couple pitches, and they are still being patient at the plate. They have worked a couple lengthy at-bats against Troxel, but he's been tough to solve on the mound. There's a foul ball from Gobin, so that keeps the count full. He stays alive in the left-handed batter's box. Now we wait for the 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Gobin slices it towards the left field line. It's foul, and it lands just past the plate of the 59er bullpen. That would have been a tough one for the left fielder Beard to get to. It was foul, but not much chance since it didn't raise too high for him to try to catch it. So the count stays, it's full, 3-2. Gobin battling here against Troxel. He's fouled away the last 2. We'll see if he could straighten one out here against the hard-throwing right-hander. The payoff pitch from Troxel. It is low for ball 4. It is a walk, and the 59ers now have 2 men on base. After Lukács singled, he was racing to second base with the pitch, so he will make it to second either way. The walk to Gobin. There are now 2 on, nobody out for Chase Nelson. Similar spot to where the 59ers found themselves in the first inning, but had their momentum halted at that point. Nelson now bats with 2 on and nobody out. His team is down by 6 runs. They're trying to make their mark on the scoreboard. The first pitch to Nelson. Speeds in. Good fastball from Troxel for strike 1. Nelson singled in his previous at-bat against Troxel. Out of the stretch, his 0-1 pitch. Finds a corner for strike 2. Troxel wastes no time throwing to Nelson here. Is ahead in the count, 0-2. Looking for the first out of the inning. He will step off the rubber and look the runner back to second base. 6 runs on 5 hits for Guerin Catholic. No runs on 2 hits for Andrean. Trying to see if they could change that here. Cued towards third base. It escapes. It gets past Ratcliffe and rolls to the outfield glass. Around the corner, and the score is Lukács. He crosses to third base is Gobin. An RBI single from Chase Nelson puts the 59ers on the board. And they aren't done yet. Everybody's safe on the play. There are runners at the corners. Nelson smashed that one towards third base. Ratcliffe couldn't handle it. It redirects into left field and brings Lukács in to score. From first to third on the play was Gobin. Nelson picks up his 28th RBI of the season, and a good time for that as the 59ers down by 5. And then we'll have a mound visit for Guerin Catholic. A reminder that we will have coverage from the Class 1A state championship. That will be played shortly after the conclusion of this game between Couts and Northeast Du Bois. And so another game in which the region represented. We will have the audio coverage of that ball game later tonight. But for now, the focus is on the 3A title game. Guerin Catholic leads 6-1 over Andrean, but the 59ers are threatening here with runners at the corners. One run has scored this inning, and here's Aiden Gannat ready to work here. Gannat struck out in his first meeting against Troxel, looking for a different outcome here. But this is an Andrean team that has played a lot of quality baseball lately, trying to see if they could rally after a very uncharacteristic bumpy start, allowing 3 runs in the first inning, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. They've responded with one of their own here in the bottom of the third, but still down by a high 5. The 0-1 pitch to Gannat. It's a high fastball. He cannot rise with it. The count is 0-2. Troxel, just with such good life on that fastball, has been able to really make it difficult to connect with. His 0-2 pitch. Foul. Gannat stays alive, fouls it to the backstop. Maxwell is on deck. There is nobody out in the inning. Runners at first and third. Gannat trying to keep the party going here for Andrean. And they need a lot of help here, down by a 5 spot. The 0-2 pitch, he swings over the off-speed delivery for strike 3. The 6th strikeout of the game for Troxel. Keeps the runners put at first and third. Now Caden Maxwell will work here. Maxwell was the initial starting pitcher for Andrean. Now he works as the first baseman, trying to impact the game with the bat now. After his day met an early end on the mound, but fortunately for Maxwell, he can stay in and still try to impact the game in a different way. Checks the first swing, but looks like he didn't go far enough for a strike. That was low and in the dirt, makes it a 1-0 count. Maxwell, a Big Ten recruit, play at the University of Illinois next season, wears the orange and blue batting gloves, Fighting Illini's colors. The 1-0 pitch from Troxel. Maxwell gets a piece of it, but lifts it foul on top of the sweets along the third base line, so the count is 1-1. But Maxwell certainly swings a good bat as well. 27 hits on the season, 8 doubles, 28 RBIs. The 1-1 chopped down the first baseline, and it breaks foul, makes it a 1-2 count. Maxwell and the 59ers played here a year ago, won 4-3 over Jasper, trying to defend their 3A crown, but are at risk of losing it with the Golden Eagles up 6-1 in the last of the third inning. The 1-2 pitch. Maxwell knocks it towards first base, but it is caught. It is caught by Gremmel-Spaker, and he will step on first for an inning-ending line-out double play. Good defense by the Golden Eagles. A good swing by Maxwell, but he crushed it right at a defender, who then had to step over on the base to turn 2. That will end the third inning. The 59ers get 1, but that is all they will get. We will head to the 4th. It's Guerin Catholic leading 6-1. You're listening to coverage of the Class 3A State Championship baseball game on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Stay with us after the game where we'll name the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Ironworkers Local 395, go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a union ironworker. Top of the fourth inning here in the Class 3A State Championship baseball game, and a battle in which Guerin Catholic leads 6-1. And certainly, doing the pregame prep process, thought about this, the combined experience between the two head coaches in these dugouts. You have two coaches that have done it different ways, but have coached a lot of baseball games between the two. As soon as I pull the program up with the resumes of each coach, I should say. But for Andrean, certainly very familiar with the resume of Dave Pishkure, as the first batter in this inning will be Carson Smith, the shortstop. But he's been with Andrean for 45 years. He has amassed 1,182 wins to 310 losses, 9 state titles for Pishkure, who's a 1971 graduate of Andrean, so certainly knows a lot about what this program means to him and has contributed through all different phases of the program. The first pitch from Nelson to Smith is a strike, but he's talked about with the field being heavily damaged by last week's tornadoes. The 0-1, how when he got to Andrean, and the 0-1 pitch was outside, there wasn't even a fence on the field. And now how every year it seems as if they've added something to it, and now they'll be tasked with rebuilding the field. The 1-1 from Nelson is behind the batter for ball 2, makes it a 2-1 count, but certainly someone who has been through it all with Andrean baseball, but his counterpart in the other dugout, certainly a baseball lifer as well. The 2-1 pitch is high for ball 3, so 3-1 the count to Smith. He has reached base twice today on a fielder's choice and a hit by pitch, but Dave Schrag, the head coach from Guerin Catholic, in his second year with the Golden Eagle program, the 3-1, swing and a miss for strike 2, the pitch from Gage. The second year with Guerin Catholic, 46-16-1, but we'll get to his lengthy baseball resume after this 3-2 pitch from Nelson, who will wind and fire to Smith. It is low and outside for ball 4, a walk. Smith is on base for the third time in this game, but Dave Schrag, second year with the program, but he's spent a lot of time on baseball diamonds, a 1979 graduate from Fenwick High School of the Chicago Catholic League, then played at Creighton, then members of the Missouri Valley Conference, graduated from that program in 1983, and then quickly moved into coaching. Spent 38 years as a coach at the college level, and now a coach at the high school level, but head coaching stints at Waldorf, Northern Iowa, Northern Illinois, Evansville, Notre Dame, South Dakota State, and most recently at Butler from 2017 to 2022. Now finds himself back in a dugout with Guerin Catholic. The first pitch to Grant Beard is in for a strike, but you think about just how many games that these two head coaches have been involved with and the different players impacted, and certainly they have probably seen a little bit of everything across baseball and how the different strategies and things have evolved over the years, but managed to stay with it and still coaching in this day and age. As the 0-1 is inside for a ball. Beard had an RBI triple in the first inning and then flew out down the left field line in his next at-bat, so he's 1 for 2 with an RBI. The 1-1, no, it'll be a throw over to first base by Nelson. Certainly, it's one thing to coach for several decades, but the way both these coaches doing it while winning speaks a lot about how they've been able to. As baseball's an ever-evolving game, so is coaching. Even think about today, Andrean using 4 different pitchers already and moving the infield around. It certainly takes strategy, being able to trust your guys to have 4 pitchers you trust with the game on the line. The count is 1-2 to Beard after a foul ball. Now Nelson throws over to first base. Sliding back in time was the runner Smith, but coaching certainly helps get both of these teams this far and keeps them competitive year in and year out. Nelson with another checkup on Beard at first base. He was able to step back to avoid that throw. The 1-2 pitch. Foul ball high, just above us at the media level, rattles around and falls back down. So a foul ball by Beard. But 1-2 the count. Nelson from the stretch sends one outside, evens the count at 2-2. A long look from Nelson to his catcher, Lubash. There's nobody out in the inning, and that's been I'll call it a problem for Andrean. The leadoff man has reached base in each of the first 4 innings. He's scored in the first 3 innings. Trying to prevent that here. A check swing on the 2-2 pitch. The appeal to first base says he went. So Beard caught swinging on a pitch in the dirt. He brought the bat forward, tried to hit the brakes, but had to pull away, but couldn't ultimately. So he is down on strikes for the first out of the inning. That's a big out to get for Nelson. Now he will face Tate Troxel. Troxel, who has been throwing an outstanding game on the mound, has also worked 2 walks at the plate as a batter. He steps up to bat against Nelson with a runner at first and 1 away. Nelson speeds a fastball outside, opens the count 1-0. Troxel certainly tough to retire in this game, has walked twice. He attacks the off-speed pitch from Nelson, but was well in front of it for a swinging strike 1. Just Nelson mixing up the speeds there, was able to fool Troxel, evens the count at 1 apiece. Now he kicks the 1-1 pitch, cued towards second base. Kulig throws the second for 1 out. No, it gets away from Dutton. Everybody's safe on the play. The 59ers were trying to get the lead runner, but a defensive mishap will result in everyone safe on the play. It was poked towards second base, where Kulig then threw to Dutton, who was covering the bag, trying to retire Smith, but it went near his chest. He couldn't quite make the catch. It gets away from him. So safe on the play. And now the batter is Zorger. Stoner will replace Troxel at first base. He reaches. It would have been tough to turn 2 anyway, but nobody out on the play. We'll see just how that was scored. The first pitch to Zorger is a ball. So there is a runner, 2 runners on, 2 on, and 1 away. And the Golden Eagles still threatening here in the top of the 4th. It was scored as an error. And the 1-0 pitch from Nelson is low for ball 2. So it was a fielder's choice that put Troxel on base. So he might have reached anyway. But then Smith is safe on the error. The 2-0 pitch, low for ball 3. So now in danger of walking the bases full is the pitcher Nelson, trying to avoid that with Zorger batting here and Kane on deck. Well, there's a different batter warming up. That is not Kane, but we'll get to that when we get there. A fastball from Nelson makes it a 3-1 count. 3-1 the count from Nelson to Zorger. Trying to work his way back into this at-bat is Nelson, the right-hander. Started the day at third base, and the next pitch is low for ball 4. The bases are loaded, and we'll see a pinch hitter from Guerin Catholic. Zorger is on base for the third time in this game. 2 walks and a single. Let's get a look at who the new batter is. That will be Cooper Hammond. Hammond, the sophomore first baseman. So Hammond will take over for Kane as the designated hitter here in the top of the 4th inning. Harmon, pardon me. But Cooper into bat. Takes the first pitch for a strike. So Harmon with a sophomore dropped into a big spot here. Bases loaded and only 1 away. Top of the 4th inning, the next pitch from Nelson is called strike 2, so he's ahead in the count, 0-2. He'll bring the corner infielders in, anticipating maybe Harmon tries to lay down a bunt, and certainly trying to get the out at the plate. The 0-2 pitch from Nelson is high and outside, makes it a 1-2 count. 1-2 the count from Nelson to Harmon. How about this as a sophomore getting to play in the state championship as a pinch hitter with the bases loaded. We'll see what Harmon does here as he calls time, but these are those spots you dream of, getting to step up with the bases full, trying to send one over the fence, but certainly for Harmon, you'll take any kind of contact here, trying to score a run or 2. The 1-2 is just low for ball 2. Nelson was looking for that outer corner, couldn't quite get the spot, so that count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nelson looks to Lubash for the sign, and time is called by Harmon. Harmon batting in place of Brody Kane. Kane ends his day with a strikeout and a walk. Top of the order on deck. The 2-2 pitch is in the zone for strike 3. Harmon is caught looking. That's a big second out to get for Nelson, his second strikeout of the inning. Nelson with a good fastball there right over the plate. No swing from Harmon. He heads back to the dugout with a strikeout. Now the top of the order up for their 4th trip at the plate. Nolan Ratcliffe bats here. Ratcliffe has been having himself a day. A walk, a single, and a hit by pitch. He has scored twice and driven in 1 run. Takes a first pitch ball from Nelson. With the bases full, he has an opportunity to add another RBI here. The count 1-0. 1-0 is the count. Nelson gets set, kicks, throws to the plate. Fastball at the corner for strike 1. One and one the count now. Nelson, with 2 strikeouts in the inning, has been able to weather some trouble. A walk to Smith. He's the runner at third base. Then a strikeout to Beard. The 1-1. Bouncer towards third base. And it's fair. Fair. 1 run is in to score. Rounding third, going to the plate is Stoner. He scores as well. The third runner will challenge, try to cross. And it's a bases clearing double. A 3 RBI double from Ratcliffe further adds to the lead for Guerin Catholic. They are up 9-1 in the 4th inning. What a swing on a skipper along the third base line. It gets past Alvarez. That would have been a tough one for him to get to, and lands in the well of the bullpen. And that gave plenty of extra time for all 3 runners to score. A bases clearing RBI double by Ratcliffe. The batter now is Ben Canada. Smith, who walked would score from third base. Troxel being pinch run for by Stoner after he reached on a fielder's choice, scored from second, and then Zorger, who reached on a walk, scores from first. Now Canada lofts one towards center field. Charging in is Lukács. He will make the grab for out number 3, but the damage has been done. The Golden Eagles score 3 runs in the top of the 4th inning to take a 9-1 lead over Andrean. We will head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The 59ers will try to get busy, down by 8, as you're listening to coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship game on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
While you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Just past the halfway point, we start the last of the 4th inning. Guerin Catholic really just taking advantage of every opportunity in this game, exploding for 9 runs throughout the first 4 at-bats, leaving the 59ers in a tough spot at the plate. They will look to string together some quality at-bats, try to climb up this hill. You can't do it with one swing. It's not even a grand slam lead, but the 59ers will try to battle and rally now with Lubash, Stahlbaum, and Kulig due up in the Class 3A state championship game. Facing a tough right-handed pitcher in Tate Troxel. He kicks, goes to the plate. His first pitch to Lubash high for ball 1. Lubash struck out swinging to end the 1st inning. This will now be his 2nd at-bat. Troxel winds, kicks, goes to the plate, swing and a miss for strike 1. There's a right-hander throwing in the Andrean bullpen. Things are very quiet in the Guerin Catholic pen, and rightly so, as Troxel's been throwing well. He sends the curveball into the zone for strike 2. Strike 2, it's a 1-2 count to Lubash, the sophomore catcher. And the fastball is at the corner for a called strike 3. Lubash caught looking to start the 4th inning. The batter will now be Miller Stahlbaum. That is the 7th strikeout for Troxel as we are in the 4th inning. Troxel has just been very tough to get to. And he sends the first pitch for a ball to Stahlbaum. He was caught looking in his first at-bat. But even with runners on, the Golden Eagles have been able to minimize the damage. After, you think that last inning where Andrean had 2 runners on base, they were threatening runners at the first and third, and they induce a line-out double play to end the 3rd inning. And then you just have Troxel able to attack. The count is 1-1 to Stahlbaum. He swings through the next pitch, quickly makes it 1-2. 1-2 the count. Troxel dealing against Stahlbaum. The outfielder pokes it towards the mound. A behind-the-back catch made by Troxel, and he'll throw over to first base. Nicely done by Tate Troxel on a chopper back to the mound. He had his back turned, stuck the glove, and made the catch just in a defensive stance. Was able to make a great play and then threw over to first base for the ground out. Troxel, he's been pitching well and then defends his position well for the ground out. That's the 2nd out of the inning. And now the batter is Matthew Kulig. Kulig trying to stay alive for the 59ers with the count 1-0. And that was a good defensive play by Troxel. He's been doing a little bit of everything today. Looks to his catcher. That is Kale behind the plate. Kicks the 1-0 pitch. High fastball and a big swing by Kulig. Couldn't line it up. Evens the count at 1-1. Yeah, but it's been Troxel's day on the mound this evening. The 1-1. Breaking ball, a swing from Kulig. Didn't bring it all the way, but far enough for that to be strike 2. Well, Kulig down to his last strike. A ball and 2 strikes in the count. The windup from Troxel. Fastball low. Evens things at 2-2, but Troxel, SEC recruit, committed to play at Alabama, has been showing why this evening with a very dominant pitching performance. He has walked twice and reached on a fielder's choice as a batter. Now his 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The 8th strikeout from Troxel ends the 4th inning. His team will head to the dugout to try to add to their lead. They're ahead 9-1 after 4. You're following coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
There is a new pitcher in the game for Andrean. That means he is an Enigenberg Exteriors home improvement hurler, as there will be Paxton Lukács in to pitch for Andrean. Lukács, the right-hander, a junior. Looking for his stats, he is 4-2 on the year, 1.33 earned run average. He's started 5 games, thrown 26 1/3 innings. With 15 hits against, 11 runs, 5 of which were earned. He's walked 9 batters and struck out 25. He is the 5th pitcher in for Andrean. He began the day in center field, so I'm trying to get a look at who is in at center for Andrean. We'll effort that and try to get an answer for you, as Lukács now pitching for Andrean. Nelson goes back to his original point at third base. So Nelson started the day at third base, goes back to the hot corner here in the 5th inning, but Lukács, the 5th pitcher used by Andrean. Maxwell started the day through 2/3 of an inning. Ian Funk then through 2/3. Gage would throw 2/3. The first pitch to Taylor is low, and then Chase Nelson provided 2 innings of work as well. Now it's up to Paxton Lukács. I believe that's Luke Gobin in center. So kind of musical chairs for Andrean, as several players have played multiple positions today. The count, next pitch from Lukács, is low for a ball. Ball 3, the count 3-0. Lukács trying to avoid walking the first batter he's seen in Taylor. And he delivers a fastball. Fastball makes it a 3-1 count. The fastball was a strike. 3-1 the count from Lukács. And this one, jab towards third base. Nelson gobbles it up, throws across the diamond to first in time for out number 1. Taylor grounds out to start the inning, and that's promising for Andrean. He's the first leadoff batter they have retired in an inning. It's been a big reason why the Golden Eagles have been able to generate 9 runs is because they have started each inning prior to this one with a base runner. The first pitch from Lukács spins outside to Kale for a ball. But when you get the leadoff man on base, that makes things so much difficult. More difficult for the pitchers as the next pitch lifted towards center, but Gobin shuffles over to make the catch for out number 2. But Lukács has quickly produced 2 outs, but back to that thought about getting the leadoff runner on base. We've seen then, even when it's been walks, it's happened a couple times where the leadoff batter walks and then the next batter is able to rip a single or a base hit to then continue to build the pressure and eventually bring everybody home. Lukács delivers a fastball that is low for ball 1, but he's been able to get 2 quick outs. There is a right-hander throwing in Guerin Catholic's bullpen as this one is smashed high. Foul, could be playable for Nelson on the third base side. Trying to battle the pitcher's mound in the bullpen. He goes tumbling down but makes the catch in foul territory to end it. Chase Nelson goes on an adventure for out number 3, makes the catch in foul territory. That ends the inning in 1-2-3 fashion as we are through 4.5. Guerin Catholic leads 9-1. You're listening to Baseball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
Bottom 5 here at Victory Field. Guerin Catholic leads 9-1 over Andrean, but let's talk about that catch made by Chase Nelson to end the top half of the 5th inning because cut for time, had to get the break, but Nelson had to venture over into foul territory, and this is a kind of a throwback ballpark where the bullpens are on the warning tracks on the baselines. So he was in the third baseline, foul territory, had to go up the mound of the pitcher's mound. And what's unique about this one is the mound is first, then the plate. So if you're looking from home plate as a bunt attempt by Jet Dudden slices foul, but the mound is closer to the dugout than the plate. Nelson had to climb the mound, then was leaning backwards and actually lost his balance, did an almost somersault to make the catch, rolling around foul territory to make the catch for out number 3. So Nelson with some effort there to help out his pitcher and get the third out. Well done as the count is 0-2 after Troxel powers in a fastball to Dudden to get ahead in this count. Troxel's wind up, a bit of a pause. Now kicks goes to the plate. The 0-2. Fastball makes it a 1-2 count. It was inside. Dudden 0-for-1 with a strikeout, trying to reach base for the first time in his outing. Senior shortstop. Waits for the 1-2. Troxel to the plate. In the zone for strike 3. Strike 3 looking. Dudden frozen up there. The 9th strikeout of the day for Troxel. He has been outstanding. The batter now will be Paxton Lukács. Lukács started the day in center field. Now he's pitching for Andrean. He will try to make something happen with the top of the order on deck. The windup from Troxel. A swinging strike from Lukács. Just a very good fastball from Troxel. His next pitch, the 0-1, is high for a ball. We go 1-1. But now for Andrean, you're just trying to find a way to break up this rhythm that Troxel has been in. Trying to get runners on base here. He has been a tough pitcher to solve. The 1-1. Foul ball to the screen, makes it a 1-2 count, but you're running out of, not quite running out of time yet, but in the 5th inning, you're running out of leeway. It's getting tougher and tougher to try to work a comeback here. And the count 1-2 after the foul ball, so you need base runners and you need runs here in the 5th inning. The 1-2 pitch is outside. We'll go 2-2. 2-2, the count now to Lukács. He singled and scored the only run of the game for Andrean. That was back in the 3rd inning. Here's the 2-2. Lukács fouls it backward, just gets a piece of it, takes it foul. Lukács trying to see what he can do here with 1 out in the inning, trying to get on base and generate a rally for an Andrean team that needs one. Here's the 2-2 from Troxel. It bounces outside to make the count full at 3-2. The count full from Troxel to Lukács. Lukács executed a 1-2-3 inning on the mound. The first scoreless inning of the day for Guerin Catholic as they lead 9-1. The payoff pitch is inside for ball 4. Lukács is aboard for the 2nd time in this game. Lukács will reach. He singled in the 1st inning, then came around to score. Now he walks. The batter will be Luke Gobin. Gobin has reached twice on walks, so Gobin trying to see if he can make it a 3rd time. Looks to the 3rd base coach for the signs. But the left-handed batting Gobin, another one of those seniors that has done a little bit of everything for Andrean this season. Waits for the first pitch from Troxel. It's inside for a ball. Playing in his last game in a 59er uniform, trying to see if he can, what work would be a dramatic comeback down by 8 runs here in the 5th inning. The 1-0 pitch. Gobin rolls it towards second base. Canada scoops it up, will go to first base. The only play he can make is the first. They will not turn 2, but they get the 2nd out of the inning. Gobin grounds out. Canada did a good job of keeping that one in front of him and making the smooth throw to first base to retire Gobin. Now Chase Nelson will bat with a runner at 2nd and 2 away. Nelson is 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles and an RBI. He was erased on a double play last time up, but he singled and brought in a run. The left-handed batter waits for the pitch from Troxel. Out of the stretch, he kicks and sends a slider in for strike 1. But Troxel with a runner in scoring position, trying to see if he could get one more out. And I'll step off the mound. And it gives time for Nelson to reset. Many of the Northeast Du Bois players hanging out along the first base line watching this game. They'll be facing Couts later this evening. The next pitch is low for ball 1. But I always like that atmosphere on these big games where you have 2 games in one day. Seeing the teams that are yet to play hanging out and watching the games, it just has that community feel. The 1-1 pitch from Troxel. Jab towards shortstop. Smith handles and throws the first to beat Nelson by a couple of steps for out number 3. The 59ers get a runner on base but leave him stranded. As we are through 5, it's Guerin Catholic leading 9-1. You're following coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah!
starts
here.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
Top of the sixth inning here in Indianapolis. The 59ers will look to try to see if they can string together another quick inning defensively here as they trail 9-1. It's Paxton Lukacs still on the mound. He worked a quick 1-2-3 inning last time, a ground out and 2 flyouts. Kept the Guerin Catholic bats in check, but they did their damage in a big way early in the game with 3 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth. Andrean would counter with 1 run of their own in the third, but that's how we got to this point with the Golden Eagles leading 9-1 here in the 6th inning. It will be Grant Beard leading off the frame. Beard is 1 for 3 on the day. He had an RBI triple back in the first inning to help get the scoring started. And now he bats against Lukacs. Lukacs, the 5th pitcher used by Andrean. They are hoping that he can provide some stability in what was a day where the Golden Eagles were able to attack some of the top arms early and force Andrean to maybe go off script a little bit and use a few different arms, but everybody has been ready as Lukacs throws a fastball in for strike 1, and that's the luxury of the state championship, playing it a week after the semi-state championship. Every arm is available, so you have to think everybody has to be ready to go if their number's called, and that's, well, Andrean's been put in that spot. A foul ball down the third base line makes it an 0-2 count, and certainly some of these guys have had to play in the field defensively and then been called on the mound. As the 0-2 is tipped foul by Beard. He stays alive. The count remains 0-2. But I mean, that's the thing about all these players. You were all probably growing up, probably the best player on their team, or playing multiple positions. They're all ball players at the end of the day. As Lukacs sends a fastball, and it's a swinging strike 3 by Beard. But at the high school level, your baseball card might not always say one position. It should really say baseball player. You should be able to, when your number's called, be able to pitch, be able to play the outfield, play the infield, be a kind of a versatile player. And that's what we've seen for some of these Andrean players, as Troxel is able to deliver a single, ropes a single to right field. Stahlbaum handles it, but reaching first is Troxel. That was a long single from Troxel, who is on base for the 4th time today. He'll be replaced by Stoner at first. Troxel wasting no time on the first pitch he saw from Lukacs, drove it to right field for a base hit. And he's been having himself quite the game in the state championship. 2 walks, a fielder's choice, and a single at the plate, and then 9 strikeouts on the mound. Tate Troxel, a big reason why Guerin Catholic is really in the driver's seat here, up 9-1 in the top of the 6th inning and threatening for more. The next pitch to Zorger fouled away. Makes it an 0-1 count. Zorger just swinging above it and grazing it foul. Lukacs looks at the runner at first base. That's Stoner as he shuffles out to a lead. The 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball, evens the count at 1-1. A ball and a strike to Zorger. He waits for the breakthrough pitch from Lukacs, who comes set, kicks to the plate. The 1-1 off-speed pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. So Lukacs, who's trying to provide some stability, is ahead in the count, 1-2. There is a runner at first base. That's Stoner running in place of Troxel. The 1-2 pitch, he swings and misses for strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Lukács, and the batter now is, it will be another pinch hitter. The last time it was Cooper Harmon. It will be somebody else here. We'll quickly try to find out who that is. That will be, it's Brody Kane. Brody Kane back to bat. He took 2 at-bats earlier, a strikeout and a walk. Now he will bat again. Kane, now listed as the right fielder, so we're getting things all sorted out. It was initially the DH, now he's in right field. So here is Kane. The count is 0-1 to Kane. Harmon batted in his place last time up. Now the 0-1 pitch. Kane elevates it high and foul. Foul on the third base side will land in a row of seats on the Andrean side. So it's now an 0-2 count after the foul ball by Kane. A strikeout to Beard, a single by Troxel, and then a strikeout to Zorger has been the story here in the 6th inning. Here is the 0-2 pitch from Lukács. It's inside and it hits him. It hits Kane. He is hit by a pitch. He will reach for the 2nd time today. That will put 2 runners on base now. Stoner goes to 2nd. Kane is at 1st, and the batter will now be Nolan Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe bats with 2 out and 2 on here in the top of the 6th inning. His team leads 9-1. Ratcliffe, a big part of that. He had walked and scored in the 1st inning, singled and scored in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch and drove in a run in the 3rd, and then had a 3 RBI double in the 4th inning. So he has scored 2 and driven in 4 for Guerin Catholic. Waits for the first pitch from Lukács, who leans and looks to the plate. Gets set, kicks, throws. It's outside for ball 1. Opens the count 1-0. But Ratcliffe really been having an outstanding day, especially at the top of the order. He'll be playing at nearby Marian University next season. The count goes 2-0 after a pitch misses outside from Lukács. Lukács with a long look to Lubash behind the plate. Throws the 2-0. It's fouled away by Ratcliffe. But the Golden Eagles certainly have been productive 1 through 9 in the lineup today, with looks like all but one batter having reached base at some point this evening. The 2-1. Line towards third base, but a leaping catch made by Nelson, climbing the ladder and rejecting extra bases from Ratcliffe to end the inning. Chase Nelson, with an athletic play at third base, ends the inning. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning with Guerin Catholic leading 9-1 as you are listening to coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step toward your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Andrean down to 6 remaining outs to try to begin a lengthy uphill battle to work their way back into this game, down 9-1. It will be Gannett, Maxwell, and Lubash, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters that will try to get the climb started for the 59ers as Troxel winds. It's a bouncer, pass towards second base. Losing it in the dirt is Canada. He can't make a throw. Canada landed on top of that dribbler and lost it. He had to take his glove off. It wasn't in his glove. He was looking around. It was under him, under his leg. So that will be a single for Gannett. Puts him on base to start the inning. And for the 59ers, you'll take it as I thought that one initially was going to get past Canada, but he covered a lot of ground to track that one down. Canada, the Northwestern recruit over at second base, showing off what could have been some nifty defense, but then just lost it as he got on top of it. And then the first pitch to Maxwell is a swinging strike 1, but Gannett is on base for the first time today. That's the way you want to start the 6th inning for Andrean. Get the leadoff man on. Now time is called by Maxwell in the left-handed batter's box. Maxwell is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a lineout in this game. But Andrean trying to rally here with the leadoff man on. Maxwell takes a lengthy timeout. Troxel on the mound makes a gesture for him to wrap it up. And then Troxel delivers a fastball for strike 2. And time called again by Maxwell. He's behind, no balls and 2 strikes in the count. Down to his last strike. With Gannett at first base. The 0-2 pitch. A fastball in for strike 3. The 10th strikeout of the game for Troxel. He catches Maxwell looking, and what will we have here? It looks like we will have a pinch hitter. A pinch hitter at the plate for Andrean. So that will be in place of John Lubash. Get a look at who that is. The first pitch from Troxel is called strike 1 to the new batter in. That will be Conrad Bordeaux. Bordeaux bats here in the 6th inning, and he quickly falls behind 0-2. But Conrad Bordeaux, a senior, brought in a pinch hit role. With the count 1-2. Taking the place of Lubash in the lineup. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Troxel. A swing and a miss for strike 3. And that will be, I thought initially it was a foul tip. It was a swing and miss, strike 3. It was in the dirt, but with the runner at first, the drop third was not in effect there. So second strikeout of the inning, 11th overall for Troxel. They're now 2 down, and the batter will be Miller Stahlbaum. So Stahlbaum bats with a runner at first and 2 down. Stahlbaum is 0 for 2 on the day. The first pitch from Troxel. A breaking ball outside. Starts the count 1-0. The 1-0 pitch inside. Makes it 2-0. A fastball from Troxel, but it was inside. Brushed Stahlbaum away. Now we wait for the 2-0 delivery. Gannett started the inning with a single, but then it was back-to-back strikeouts. So now Stahlbaum trying to get defensive as Troxel now calls time, steps off the rubber. Is behind in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 is low and in, makes it a 3-0 count. The count from Troxel to Stahlbaum. The last of the 6th inning, Andrean trailing 9-1, but trying just to see if they can get some runners on base and try to bring it a little bit closer. The 3-0 pitch is a fastball, catches the upper corner for strike 1. 3-1 the count now to Stahlbaum. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. The 3-1 finds the lower outer corner for strike 2, so the count now full. Troxel has battled his way back into the count. 3-2 is in the zone for strike 3. After the single, Troxel will then battle back to strike out the side. We are through 6. Guerin Catholic leads 9-1. We will head to the 7th inning. You're listening to coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship game on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Looking to score great deals on sports and fitness gear? Shop local at Play It Again Sports Maryville. We have new and quality used equipment for baseball, softball, golf, hockey, fitness, and more. Plus, turn your old gear into cash on the spot or create your own discount with store credit for even better deals. Whether you're training, competing, or just getting started, your locally owned Play It Again Sports keeps you in the game.
Top of the 7th inning, Paxton Lukács remains in, trying to see if he could get 3 more outs to help Andrean get their bats back up and try to, see if they can produce what would be a miraculous comeback down 9-1 as we begin the first of the 7th inning here in the 3A State Championship game. This is an Andrean team that's, no matter what the result of today's game, certainly they are playing with the entire support of the community, the Andrean community behind them right now in a time where there's a lot uncertain after their campus and their athletic fields facing heavy damage from last week's tornadoes. But this baseball team has given the Andrean students, families, alumni a lot to be proud of these last couple of weeks, and certainly in a time where not much is certain, but there will be a school year next year, but how much work still need to be done. The 59ers trying to provide some excitement to the community as the count goes 2-0, but a lot of unknowns this week. They couldn't practice on their home field as that was left unplayable due to the storm, so they played at the Steel Yard, home of the Gary South Shore Railcats, and gave them, maybe an opportunity to get used to playing on a bigger field, bigger stadium. The 3-0 pitch is in the zone for strike 1. Ben Canada bats for Guerin Catholic, but a week where nothing's routine, the state championship, practicing at a different field, certainly helping the 59ers get ready for this moment, as then the 3-1 pitch is high for ball 4. Canada walks to start the inning. Now Ian Taylor will bat with 1 on and nobody out. But certainly another 30-win season for Andrean, another semi-state win, sectional, regional championship, and another appearance at Victory Field. Another successful season, even if it doesn't feel like it today, but a lot to be proud of throughout the year for Andrean. Several all-conference selections, but these guys really having another strong year as the count goes 1-1 to Taylor. That's something where even if your last game doesn't always go the way you want it to, so few athletes at any level end their careers in a win, but you have to sometimes think back at the other moments along the way. As Taylor drives it towards left field, it will land fair, rolls to Gannett. It's a single, keeps the line moving. Canada and Taylor are both aboard here. Runners at first and second, and the batter will be Carson Kale. No, it will be a pinch hitter for Carson Kale. I will get you the info on the new batter. The new batter will be That is Jackson Baker. Jackson Baker bats in place of Kale here in the top of the 7th. So Baker will take his first at-bat of the outing. That's in Kale's spot. So the count opens 0-1 to the right-hander Baker. Baker is a senior, getting a look. Has taken 14 at-bats this year, and he will face Lukács. So the count evens at 1-1. Canada is the runner at second base. Taylor is at first. Lukács gets set, kicks and delivers the 1-1 pitch. It has some nice movement into the zone for a strike. We go 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes from Lukács to Baker. Nobody out in the inning, 2 runners on for the Golden Eagles. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It is a ball. The count goes even at 2-2. Baker brought in a pinch hit role, trying to impact the game, playing in the state championship as a senior. He swings through the 2-2 pitch for strike 3. Lukács will send him back to the dugout with a strikeout. And it looks like we'll have a, no, this will be Carson Smith in to bat for Guerin Catholic. Smith has reached base 3 times on a fielder's choice, a hit by pitch, and a walk. And he flew out to Nelson in foul territory back in the 5th inning, and what was a adventurous catch made by Nelson at the Andrean bullpen. Nelson has had a few really good defensive plays at third base today. That might get overlooked when you just look at the box score, but I thought he's had a very good defensive game for whatever that's worth at third base for Andrean, and pitched a couple solid innings of relief work. The 1-0 is outside for a ball. We go 2-0. But Lukács trying to see if he could work his way out of trouble here with 2 runners on base. Get the Andrean bats back up to face what will likely be Tate Troxel for the 7th inning. Lukács steps off, looks the runner back to second. But Guerin Catholic 3 outs away from winning what would be their first state championship in program history, and what a way they've done it. Striking first against Andrean, unseating the defending champs, and it would be the first state title for head coach Dave Schrage in his 2nd season with the program, a longtime college coach, making the transition to high school now. The 3-0 pitch is outside. No, it's at the corner for a strike. So it's now a 3-1 count. But for the Golden Eagles, here's a ground ball to third base. Nelson tries to apply the tag, misses, so now we'll opt to throw to first base, and we'll get the runner there for out number 2. No, okay, so yeah, there's sorting things out. There's 1 out scored on the play. The 59ers thought Nelson applied the tag to the runner going for third, but he avoided it, so Canada reaches third base. He's safe. Then Nelson threw over to first and got the out there. So Smith grounds out 5-3, but the 59ers trying to plead their case that it could be a double play, as Canada might have left the base path to avoid that tag, but we'll play on. First state title game appearance for Guerin Catholic, though, as they returned 8 players from last year's team that won 19 games, won the program's first sectional title. And now here's a high fly ball to left field. Gannett has a beat on it, steps to his left, and will make the catch for out number 3. That will end the top half of the 7th inning. The Golden Eagles don't score, and they will head to the field to try to get the last 3 outs to try to clinch a state championship. And when we return, you're listening to coverage of the Class 3A state title game on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Strachan Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strachan Van Til.
There is a new pitcher on the mound for Guerin Catholic. That means he's an Enigenberg Exteriors home improvement hurler presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. That will be Luke Gremmelspaker, the senior right-handed pitcher, in to try to get the last 3 outs for Guerin Catholic. Gremmelspaker takes over for Tate Troxel, who threw 6 innings of 1-run ball with 4 hits against, 3 walks, and 12 strikeouts. Enigenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote. So Gremmelspaker will be tasked with getting the last 3 outs, as the new batter for Andrean will be Liam DeKerf, a pinch hitter in. So DeKerf takes over, and he flares one foul towards the first base line. It is out of play, foul. So DeKerf down, evens the count at 1-1. That's in place of Matthew Kulig. But Guerin Catholic, conference champs this year with a 5-1 mark. Sectional champs, second in program history, their first regional championship. Fastball makes the count 1-2. First semi-state championship, and now 3 outs away from their first state championship. What a season it has been for the Golden Eagles, but still have 3 outs to get here. The 2-2 count to DeKerf, but a school that has only been around since 2004, which, you know, is 22 years ago, but still in the scheme of high school sports, not that long. One of 3 first-time state finalists this weekend, along with Northeast Du Bois, who we'll see later today in the 1A title game, and then Bluffton, who will be playing tomorrow in the 2A game. It's a walk to DeKerf. He hustles along the first base line for the 59ers. That's the way you want to start it, getting a runner on base. We will have another pinch hitter in place of Jet Dutton. So another pinch hitter. I will get you his name momentarily. That will be Nicholas Melnick Jr. Melnick will bat here. So many Andrean players getting their first at-bats of the game here, as they will look to generate some offense and potentially reward some players that have been role players and have not seen the playing time they maybe envisioned, but those depth players that have been good team guys all year, get them in at-bat in the state championship, as the count is 2-0 to Melnick. The next pitch from Gremmelspaker, a strike. The count goes 2-1. Gremmelspaker takes over for Troxel, who was very good to start the game. Count 2-1 to Melnick Jr. A fastball at the corner, called strike 2, evening things up. Nobody out here in the last of the 7th inning, so Andrean has 3 outs to play with here. But they have their work cut out for them. A fastball over the plate for strike 3, retires Melnick. That's out number 1. And we will have another pinch hitter. That will be Ford Stevenson. Ford Stevenson, often used as a speedy pinch runner, will get an at-bat here in the last of the 7th inning. Stevenson, a senior, so playing in his last game in an Andrean uniform. And we have another call to the bullpen. The Golden Eagles will bring in a new arm, and we will get you info about him after this quick break. So stick around. You're following coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
We have another new arm into the game. That means he's an Eggenberg Exteriors home improvement hurler. Eggenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com. The new man on the mound is Tyler Larsch, the 6'1" right-handed pitcher. He is a senior. Larsch has thrown 14 1/3 innings pitched this season with 13 hits, 7 runs. He has walked 4 batters and struck out 12. He has a .24 ERA. He takes over for Luke Gremmelspaker, another senior. So a couple of upperclassmen getting a chance to pitch in a state title game. Larsch, with 2 outs to get, throws one low for a ball to Stevenson. Opens the count 1-0. So Ford Stevenson bats right-handed. You've seen him a lot in a utility role, but now gets an at-bat near the bottom of the order. Pinch hitting for Lukács. And a breaking ball for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. A good bender from Larsch for a strike. Now his 1-1 pitch out of the stretch. Off speed, it drops inside, makes it a 2-1 count. So a bit of a different windup than what we saw from the tall right-hander in Troxel, but he's trying to pitch effectively here, as there is also a right-hander throwing in the bullpen. Here's the 2-1. At the corner for strike 2. 2-2 the count. So Stevenson down to his last strike. The top of the order is on deck. That would be Luke Gobin. Here is the 2-2 pitch. It hits him. It breaks inside and hits Stevenson, so he's aboard. Now there are 2 runners on base. There's Liam DeKerf, who walked. He's at second. And now Ford Stevenson, who was hit by a pitch. He will take over at first base. Now Luke Gobin will bat. 2 outs remaining for Guerin Catholic here. Guerin Catholic looking to win their second state championship of the school year. Their boys' soccer team won the 2A title in the fall. Against an Andrean team also playing in their second state championship of the school year. The 59ers, state champs on the gridiron back in the fall, and now playing in the baseball state title game. So 2 schools that have enjoyed a lot of success this academic year. A 20th overall state championship for Andrean, or trying to win their 20th state championship. Oh, that breaking ball is well outside to advance both base runners. That one just got away from Larsch. A wild pitch moves DeKerf to third base and Stevenson to second. But Andrean playing in a record-tying 12th baseball state championship game. A win would put them, set a state record, but it would appear they will have to wait to next year to try to do that. Down 9-1 here in the 7th inning. And here is Gobin batting. Gobin with the count 1-1 after that wild pitch from Larsch. The breakthrough pitch Gobin sends it opposite field. It's fair, just inside the line. It caroms off the wall. It will bring both runners in to score as the left fielder had trouble playing it on the hop. It's a 2 RBI double for Luke Gobin. Not giving up here in the 7th inning. Brings in 2 to keep the 59ers alive. Makes it a 9-3 game. Gobin with his 10th double of the season, RBIs number 32 and 33. A good swing there to chase in 2. So not done yet, with now Chase Nelson up to bat. And that'll be the end of the day for Larsh. They will bring in another pitcher, another curtain call, another senior into pitch. We'll just keep this one right here. That's another new pitcher, which means it's time we turn the Edinburgh Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers. It will be Harrison Huck into pitch for Guerin Catholic. Huck 4-0 on the year. He has 6 saves, 30 and a third innings pitched, 13 hits, 11 runs, 9 of which were earned. He's walked 29 batters and struck out 50. So another senior brought in. So the Golden Eagles able to get a lot of reps for their seniors in this game as well. Some curtain call moments for all the pitchers used here. Gremmel, Spaker, Larsh, and now Huck. But really the story of the day will be Tate Troxel. He was outstanding through 6 innings pitched, allowing just 4 hits, striking out 12. Stifled a couple of would-be rallies from Andrean, made it difficult to work. And for Andrean, it's not the end to the season you would have hoped for, but I was talking about it in the top of this inning. There's a lot to be proud of, a lot of memorable moments, especially in a time when your school needed it, that get you to a state title. And this one will sting. It will hurt. Certainly one you'll think about for a while, but many years down the road, these guys, if you stay friends with guys you went on a run with like this, and you'll sit around, you'll talk about the regional championship against New Prairie, the dominant semi-state doubleheader, some of those wins during the school year, and those bus rides, all the memories along the way. That's what you remember even if it's not the result you wanted here at Victory Field. But the count starts 0-1 to Chase Nelson. Evens at 1-1. But so few players get the chance to play in a state championship, and these Andrean players back in back-to-back years, that's a special opportunity as well. The 1-1 is high and away, makes it 2-1. And to be a part of a program that's gone on several lengthy postseason runs. And they were state runners-up in 2023, state champs in 25. So in their 4 years on campus, these seniors, they've seen 3 trips to Victory Field. That doesn't happen a ton. 3 out of your 4 years taking a run the state, that's something, certainly a tremendous achievement. The count is 3-1 to Nelson. He attacks the next pitch, lofts it high, and it will break foul into the third base seating. And the count goes full at 3-2. Nelson, who has 2 singles and an RBI in this game and some very good defensive plays, trying to lock in here with the count full. The payoff pitch, he chops it foul and into the crowd. It's another long foul ball from Nelson, but just a little bit behind it. Count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Huck goes to the plate. The 3-2, Nelson drives it towards center, and it's caught by Taylor. Caught by Taylor for out number 2. Now the 59ers down to their last out, their last chance. Aiden Gannett steps into the box with a runner at second and 2 away. And Andrean down 9-3. Gannett trying to break through. He is 1 for 3 on the day. As the Golden Eagles trying to secure their first state championship in program history. And really in dominating fashion, putting a crooked number in the board up on the board in the first inning and not looking back from there. Huck sends a fastball. It's swing and a miss by Gannett to make it an 0-1 count. The pitcher gets set, kicks, fires to the plate. The fastball is outside, evens the count at 1-1. Aiden Gannett, the junior, sees the next pitch low for a ball, 2-1, so he'll be back for next year's team that will look to try to keep the standard where it is. Go on another deep postseason run, but graduating players like Gobin and Dudden and Maxwell will try to reload, and then they have a right mix of youth and experience on this team. Several sophomores and juniors contributing. The count 3-1 to Gannett after a fastball was outside. So Gannett trying to see if he could reach base here. The 3-1 pitch from Huck. Lifted high, foul. Will it be playable? It will not be. It lands just to the right of Andrean's dugout in the seats. A fan retrieves it from the front row. So the count full, 3-2. Gannett down to his last strike with his season on the line here. Guerin Catholic fans on their feet, realizing what's at stake here. They are one strike away from adding something to their trophy case. Now the payoff pitch from Huck. It's inside, it hits him. It hits him at the shoulder. So Gannett will reach base. There are now two men on. Gobin's over at second base. Gannett is on base for the second time today. And the batter will be Caden Maxwell. That was a fastball high and inside. Gannett tried to turn out of the way, and it just gets him right at the shoulder. So 59ers still with a chance here, I guess, with two runners on base and two away. But Caden Maxwell, the starting pitcher initially for today, moved to first base, playing his last game in a 59er uniform before making the jump to the college level. He'll be playing at the University of Illinois next season. Takes the fastball outside. But Maxwell, a big reason why Andrean is playing here today. Swings at the next pitch, misses. Threw an outstanding game in the semi-state opener. Just a one-hit complete game shutout over DeKalb. Has the count even at 1-1, but that senior leader of the rotation. So he gets one last at-bat as a 59er. The count goes to 2-1. 2 outs in the inning, 2 runners on base. Gannett and Gobin are both aboard at first and second, respectively. Here's the left-handed batting Maxwell at the plate. The 2-1 pitch. Maxwell slices it foul into the crowd. So he has things even at 2-2. He's down to his last strike. Harrison Huck, the right-hander on the mound for Guerin Catholic, trying to close it out here with his team ahead 9-3. He gets set. Waits for the sign from his catcher, Kale. The 2-2 pitch is a fastball for strike 3. And Guerin Catholic defeats Andrean 9-3 to clinch their first state championship in program history. They swarm to the first base side, piling up. They are thrilled. They have made it to their first state title game appearance and will leave with their first state championship. What a dominant way to do it, winning 9-3 in a well-pitched game. They took advantage of several quality at-bats, and they scored in the first inning and did not look back, defeating the defending state champs 9-3. And now they wear the crown. State champs here at Victory Field. Andrean ends their season with a record of 30-4. Guerin Catholic completes their season 28-3-1, ending the year on an 11-game win streak. what a game for them. The 59ers fall just short here at Victory Field, but back-to-back trips to the Circle City, certainly impressive in its own, and we'll see the players shaking hands now at home plate. We will join the PA announcer momentarily for the Andrean players being presented their state medals and their runner-up trophy, and we'll hand out some hardware of our own for the award presentations. But also worth reminding, we'll be back, not sure on the time, but for the Couts and Northeast Du Bois game in a little bit. And that one, the 1A state championship, so Couts back for another appearance in the state title game. We'll see if they can avenge last year's defeats and try to pick up their first state championship, but that's all a little bit away. But for now, the story, Andrean and Guerin Catholic. Guerin Catholic, what a game it was for them. Tate Troxel throwing 6 innings of one-run ball with 12 strikeouts. Their offense, a host of players being able to produce. All 9 spots in the lineup would reach base for Guerin Catholic. That's certainly impressive. And for for Guerin Catholic, their first state championship win. In their first state title game appearance, you see the excitement from their fans and players, how much it means for them. And what a dominant way to do it, by defeating the defending state champs. For Andrean, not the result they wanted, but something that they still had another strong year to reach here, battled a ton of adversity, and really in a situation that there's no playbook for, with their school and their field damaged by the severe weather and tornadoes, but still banding together and rallying to make their way to state and leaving as runners-up. Victory Field, the venue here, as you will see the medals and trophies being presented momentarily. So the PA announcer getting ready to recognize the Andrean and Guerin Catholic players. As there certainly many fans and administrators, representatives from the school on the field as well. So looking to see what we will have here. I believe there will be some sort of player of the game or award handed out first. Or it's the Mental Attitude Award. We saw that at softball last week. So we'll see who is recognized for that. But so that will be presented near home plate. Both teams lined up along their respective baselines. And we'll get ready to start handing out some of the awards of our own right after Andrean has given their medals and their trophy. But still, it's always an experience to play in a state championship of any sort. Looking at this Andrean lineup, there are a couple football guys on the roster as well, so players that have done this as both baseball players 2 years in a row, and then football players once in the fall and then once in the spring. It looks like Luke Gremmelspaker presented the Mental Attitude Award from Guerin Catholic, but certainly these trips to state, always a memorable, a once-in-a-lifetime experience in some regard, but pretty unique that we have a few Andrean players that have done. This might, if I'm doing my math correctly, it could be their 3rd trip to state across a couple sports. So Gremmelspaker handed his award, certainly a very notable accolade. And so we will get ready for those Andrean players to receive their medals. It should be right after this. As the grounds crew quickly getting to work to prepare the field for the 1A championship game. That'll be coming up in a little bit. So here are the Andrean players about to be recognized. So we'll join the PA announcer for that. There was Andrean's trophy ceremony as they were given their medals and now their trophy. They'll get a nice picture with that as we'll start during the presentation of Guerin Catholic's medals and trophy. We'll start handing out our post-game awards as one last round of applause for Andrean is given out by their fans. But it's time to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies proud to recognize the superheroes on the diamond. The Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game tonight was, we'll go with from the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles, their starting pitcher, Tate Troxel. He threw 6 innings of 4-hit baseball, 1 run allowed, walked 3 batters, and struck out 12. Troxel was excellent today in a dominant pitching performance to get his team to a state championship victory. It was a well-thrown game by the right-hander. Moving along, it's time to name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. The blue-collar player of the game tonight was, we'll go with from the Andrean 59ers, Chase Nelson. He went, he had 2 singles in the game, an RBI. He had 2 very solid innings on the mound where he allowed just 1 hit, 3 runs. They were unearned. He struck out 2 batters. And he had some very good defense at third base as well. More on that in a moment. But Nelson really battled and had some very gritty looks throughout this game. Earns the blue-collar player of the game in the state championship loss. Now we will name the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a union ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. The play of the game was, we'll wind it back to the top of the 6th inning with Nolan Ratcliffe batting. He lined a line drive. It looked like it was going to go over Chase Nelson's head, but he went up in the air to make a athletic leaping catch for out number 3 in that inning. A very good catch by Nelson. That was our play of the game. Tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game presented by Ironworkers Local 395 Union Strong. Now time to wrap up and thank everyone involved with this evening's broadcast. To our management team at Region Sports Network, led by executive producer Chris Ramirez, operations manager Rich Castillo, Zach Miller, and our sports director Mike Dewan. To my producer Zach Sinelli doing an outstanding job of running all technical aspects of today's broadcast. To the coaches from each side, Dave Pishkir from Andrean and Dave Schrag from Guerin Catholic. The athletic directors, Neil Demos of Andrean and Ryan Davis from Guerin Catholic. To the Victory Field personnel for accommodating us, and to Jason Wiley of the IHSAA for running everything, as now we see Guerin Catholic hoisting their state championship trophy near the first base dugout. It's Troxel leading in the celebration, and the rest of the players swarm around him on the first base line. But a reminder, we'll be back in a little bit with the 1A state championship game between Couts and Northeast Du Bois. But thank you to all of our listeners across our platforms at YouTube, Facebook, and regionsports.com. This is Leo Staudaher thanking you for watching coverage of the Class 3A Baseball State Championship game on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.